Okay, everybody. Welcome to Creole and Cajun Living with Bomb Cherry. And I want to introduce to you the man from the Black Manosphere. Here he is. This is the black man who has learned to save himself. Here he is. Now let's rewind it just a little bit. Black man saving himself. See, these type of men who are preaching this bullshit, they have always been for self. It wouldn't have mattered if that's his daughter or his son. Some of these black men have always been about self. His ass is high up where the dog can't get him. His daughter is screaming, "Daddy, daddy." Now, most women would have jumped right. See, I know as a mother, not only do I know I would have done it, but I have done it. But ladies, it's important to see what we see now, because I understand when a lot of these women are saying, "Black woman, stop protecting some of these fools," especially when you know when he hasn't proven that he is offering his protection. See, this is what a lot of women have been seeing through the years with the absentee daddies. See, if you absent, you didn't even find it important enough to even fight to protect your son or daughter. You just decided you didn't want to hear the nagging. Ooh, she's nagging so much that you decided to save yourself while leaving your seed, your child, girl or son, right? Girl or male. 'Cause I'm trying to stop saying female because um some of the young women are saying bomb female is a negative word. I have no idea how that could be, but okay. So whether he has a boy or girl, doesn't even matter how what the age is. See, that little girl looks like she might be in third grade at the most. At the most. It could be kindergarten. She look a little older for kindergarten. Second, maybe second, third grade. That's what she looks like to me. The daddy jumped his big ass on top of that vehicle. And I understand if it was a reflection, right? It was a reaction, just an instant uh, save yourself, right? He probably was thinking, damn. And then as soon as he jumped on top of the car, as soon as he heard daddy, daddy, this nigga didn't even try to jump down. This nigga didn't try to even get the attention of the dog. He wanted this little girl to figure out what she needed to do in a panic. He was pointing to her where to go. These are these Jessica X type of niggas right here. I want you to know you're looking at yourself. And I'm explaining that in a moment, right? Let's see it again. Let's watch it a little bit. He even has his back to his daughter. He's watching the dog. His back to his daughter. See, he really don't give a fuck about her. He don't give a fuck about his daughter, yo. Now, see, I can't speak for all women, all mothers, but what I can do is say this, that the women who have decided to buckle down and take care of her sons and daughters without the man's help, these men claim to be the worst type of women, you should have just aborted them. It's your fault you had to take care of them. But they had to take care of them, whether they wanted to or not, whether they had the money to take care of the children or not. At least they attempted to. Now, for a mother like myself, I would have jumped. First of all, I would have been fighting with that dog to ensure that that dog didn't grab my child, whether it's a male or a female. See, a bitch like me would be willing to jump in front of a bullet for my family. And that's true. We were taught that, right? We were taught to be willing to put ourselves on the line for our family. And family to me would include my children and my husband. But I understand what the women are saying. They saying, "Bomb, look at this shit here. Look at this shit here." We know this man would never jump in front of a bullet for his wife or his girlfriend. We know this because he wasn't willing to do it for his fucking child, a child who couldn't make no decisions because she don't have the ability to even understand what is happening right now. See, some of these men will say, "Well, it's the little girl's fault." You're gonna blame the black woman because you're gonna know, well, why did she choose a man like this? But understand, you are the man like this. When you talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays, that you are better than the Pookies and Ray Rays. See, Pookie and Ray Ray nigga would have been there willing to fight that dog. The Pookies and Ray Rays who doing whatever they doing in order to support their family, whether it's legal or illegal. See, he would have been willing to fight that dog or pull out his gun and shoot that little motherfucker in the head. But see, some of you motherfuckers who claim you're educated, you know what I mean, and you have all the answers to everything, like you should abort the baby, because if she would have aborted the baby, see, the baby wouldn't have been in this situation. The baby wouldn't have been looking at her father jump on a vehicle while she was still right there for the dog. That little girl just learned a lesson, baby. When y'all want to say that children look up to their mothers, right? When they will fight because somebody talks about their mother, but you won't hear when the children fighting over somebody talking about their dad. It's this situation right here. Because either they don't know their dad, maybe they only see their dad once in a while, maybe every other weekend. And even in those situations, he's not really being a dad. He's like the friend who might buy you some shoes. See, you all want to take away the responsibility of the man, right? Y'all claim that she is the one who opens her legs. See, she can't get pregnant, y'all say, if she don't allow the man to enter her womb. And then y'all say, well, even after that, she is the one who decides whether to have the baby. And of course, that's why she ended up with this man, because it's her fault that she didn't know that he was this type of man. So it's her fault that her daughter is in this situation, because she shouldn't have relied on this man's to protect his fucking daughter. It's her fault, because she should have been the one to go and get her from the bus stop or wherever she was coming from. She should have not been at work or wherever she was, because this nigga is not reliable, because she's the one who chose him, and because she decided to marry him or date him or live with him. I'm quite sure it's her fault that he jumped on that car, because If she hadn't been there when he chose that car, he wouldn't even have that car. And it's her fault that he even had that car to jump on that car. So it's the black woman's fault. See, I get it. I get it. I get that it's the black woman's fault for everything. It's he was able to jump on that car because she allowed him to have that car. Or maybe she just decided to date the dude who has a car. Maybe it's her fault that he even have a car. If he didn't have a car, listen, it's her fault. Ladies, it's our fault. And it's going to be that little girl's fault that she watched her daddy jump on top of the car. And it's her fault that she didn't follow her dad's instructions as he jumped on top of that car. And when the little girl was freaked out and he was like, go that way, and she didn't really listen right away, like she didn't jump at an instant, and she wasn't fast enough. She didn't have the legs, tall enough to even get on top of a car. That's her fault. That's the little girl's fault. See, because that's what they do. It don't matter if you're not them. If you're not these lame ass niggas, they will always find fault. It's the little girl's fault. It's the mama's 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 fault. It's the mamas of a mamas. All these motherfucking mamas and all these bitches is their fault. Yeah. And we're gonna listen to a little clip of you niggas, right? The Jessica X syndrome ass niggas. See, you suffer from the Jessica X syndrome. See, she is who she is. You niggas are suffering from a bitch you don't even know. You understand what I'm saying? A bitch who was able to come into your space. You still not even, you're not brave enough to even ask this bitch to prove who she is. Y'all say, well, yeah, I don't really know who she is, but it don't matter who she is because I know who she is. We know she telling the truth, but we also know you're jealous of her. The fuck I would be jealous of a bitch who has multiple fucking pictures. And they all look different in every single one of them. Fuck up out of here. Why would anybody be jealous of a bitch who can't even show herself? But see, this is not really about Jessica X. I want y'all to know this. This is not about her. If you're listening, Jessica, this is not about you. This is not about you. Nobody give a fuck about you, bitch. Nobody care what you look like. Nobody care where you living, how you living. Nobody cares about that except these lame ass niggas. The lame ass niggas who says it's the woman's fault. It's also the woman's fault that her dog got out of the goddamn gate. It's her fault that she even went to get the dog. It's her fault that she stayed calm and let him know you good. Even after she told this nigga, look, I got him. This nigga still was on top of that car, baby. Thank you, babe. You put mayonnaise on it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So I'm just letting you know. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not talking about every black man. You understand? See, because I know for a fact, without any doubt, that my husband wouldn't have done no shit like this. You see, I opened that one because I had some more stuff. I ate that without even having the chips. You can take it with you, babe. Anyone you want. You good? Okay. See, that's why I treat my husband the way I treat him. See, I know for a fact, baby, my husband would have never jumped on top of that vehicle. Without a doubt. How do I know? Because we've had situations in our lifetime together. even with our children that have arisen, whatever the word is, in past tense, and he has been the calm one. See, that's what you supposed to be, black man. That's what you supposed to be, head of the household ass nigga. That's what you supposed to do. In the midst of some shit going down, you supposed to have the level head. Remember, Miss Theological? This nigga is right where he should be at all motherfucking times, bent over on his knees, except the only thing we missing right now is the other nigga who's standing behind him and the one that's standing in front of him while he's sucking one nigga's dick. There's another nigga behind him forcing his penis in his ass to encourage him to continue being this pussy ass nigga that some of you have decided to help raise. When you don't need these older niggas, you know, we younger niggas, we don't need to listen to these older niggas. These older niggas are telling us how to stand up straight with our heads high. But no, the younger niggas are saying, no, nigga, you ain't got to stand and for nobody. You don't have to act strong for nobody. Just be about yourself. And while you at it, nigga, since I'm the one educating you right now, come in front of me and suck on this dick. Y'all the lamest ass niggas I'm embarrassed. I am for black empowerment. And I'm watching some of you embarrass yourself. And because I love you, because I want more for you, because I want to appreciate you, I'm embarrassed. And I want to be I feel like I should be crying right now. But the tears won't fall because you're suffering from a Jessica X syndrome, nigga, and y'all fighting for a bitch you don't know. You are a fucking embarrassment. You have a shitload of older men on this shit. And even where I may disagree with some of these men, I have never come up here to tell you as a black man not to listen to these men. I've never said, oh, this nigga over there stupid. I may say, well, look, you know, everything they're saying isn't across the board. But even they say that. A lot of these men say, well, yeah, you're right. It's not across the board. Right? Coming at it from a woman's point of view, a feminine point of view. Yes, we will have disagreements, right? Because I'm speaking on behalf of the women. But they stand 10 toes down in their masculinity, and at least I can appreciate that shit. This nigga don't even have his toes flat on the ground. This nigga bent over on top of a car. But what's worse about this shit is, look at this nigga. He looked like he's comfortable in that fucking position right there. Yeah, look at it. Just up there. A dog is running around. His chow is right there. The fucking dog should have grabbed this nigga. The only thing I like is that the dog, y'all notice dogs understand fear. And right now, between his daughter and this lame ass nigga, you notice that dog is focused on the dad? Because the dad is screaming like a whole bitch inside. Even though we can hear the little girl screaming. You notice that dog? Look at that dog. That dog not even paying attention to that little girl. But he sure focused on that bitch on that car, baby. Look. Like, let's rewind it. She's screaming daddy. The daddy on top of the car looking at the dog. The dog is looking at the daddy. Stop crying, Nana. Did y'all hear the nigga? Stop crying, Nana. Nigga, you crying right now on top of that fucking car. You want to tell her to stop crying? This is that protection y'all talking about, huh? Yeah, let me come and see what y'all talking about in this room. Man, this is that protection they're going to take from us, ladies. They're going to take this protection from us, ladies. Ladies, I need y'all to pay attention. The niggas going to take this protection from us. If we would be real, 100, see, there's some of us who can't phantom. I can't phantom a man doing this shit. This shit is shocking to me. It's disgusting to me. But a lot of women say, Bomb, this is what we talking about. This is what we have been seeing all our lives. So I do not take that away from them ladies, right? I understand in my life, I have always been surrounded by men. And when a man, even if a man like this was around in my family, I'm not saying we didn't have any what we call poop putts back in the day, lame niggas. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that there were so many real men around who would end up grabbing this nigga by his collar and putting him on his feet. If the older men had to hold his ass by his collar and keep him on his feet, they did that at least until he decided to become comfortable on his feet. But see, these other little niggas who don't want to respect their elders, and I'm not even talking about the women, right? You ain't got to respect the women if you don't want to, as long as you are a man. If you are a man, women will see you. You ain't gonna have to do a lot of talking to a woman because she can smell that masculinity. You wouldn't have to worry about a certain cologne. See, you got niggas on here telling you that you need to dress a certain way and that you need to, you know what I'm saying? You need to smell a certain way. But he ain't telling you how to smell like masculinity. Women, we sense that about you. You could be in your work uniform, nigga. You could be a trash collector, a garbage man, and a woman still could smell that sweet smell of motherfucking masculinity through all that other shit. But see, you got a nigga on here telling you that, well, you should buy this cologne because this cologne is going to get those women, and those women, they're going to come over, and you also have to make so much money. And this nigga is telling you that your masculinity ain't worth shit, that you need to go and get a job to even act and make a certain amount of money just so you could get a woman. But we know that's not to be factual, right? Because remember, on the other side of that, y'all claim that women are choosing men like Pookies and Ray Rays who ain't got no jobs, who really ain't got no money, they don't make lots of money. You know what I mean? This shit is nonsense on here on YouTube. And y'all are a fucking embarrassment. Okay, let me go through this room right quick. What's up, Chef? How you doing, my brother? Is that the pet bull video with the dude who dipped? Yeah, that's it. This is it. What's up, the beauty? Gemini, what's going on? Brandy, what's going on? Jim Marie, y'all weak men that attack women, do not hide in the club now. I know that's right. Tell me, come out the clouds. Come the fuck out the clouds. We're gonna have a discussion. And I thought this was so important that I made sure that people could call in. And I'm gonna put the number out there if y'all want to call in, if y'all don't want to hop on the Zoom for real. But listen, we're gonna have fun, ladies. George, what's going on? He said, I'm not going to lie. I would help a woman or a child that looks like Jessica X before I helped a regular black woman. No offense. Because you are a fucking simp. That's why. That's why. You mean to tell me you won't help a woman who looks like your mother? You'll look towards a Jessica X to help her? Is that what you saying to us, George? I bet you're not going to come up on this goddamn panel to have a discussion about it, though. Because you already look like a fool from the chat area. And like you said, I'm not going to lie. And guess what? The Jessica X's don't want you, bitch. Oh, did I call you bitch? I called you a bitch. I'm calling this nigga on this car a straight up bitch. Yes, you a bitch. So you're gonna sit. See, I believe you'll be just like this nigga. See, the dog comes out. Let's say it's you and two women. One of them is the Jessica X, and the other one, let's just say, is just a woman who looks like your mama. Just a regular, like you said, a regular black woman. See, what you're gonna do first, you're gonna jump on that car, right? You're gonna jump on top of that car, and you're gonna see both. You're gonna look at the dog. You're gonna see these women screaming because they're not sure what's gonna happen. You're not even gonna jump off the car to even save the Jessica X, bitch. What you will do is do exactly what this man did. You will decide to give her some instructions. And see, the Jessica X's, they already know this about you. That's why she in your area playing with you right now. See, when black women come in y'all spaces, right? There's a couple of reasons why we might be there. Some of us are there just to offer some support. We know not to cross the line. We won't even say too much or nothing unless you ask us. Like if you invite us up to have a conversation, we will chat with you. And then even then we handle you like little boys, because the truth of the matter is that most of you are little boys, right? We recognize you are little boys. We'll treat you like you might be our sons. There'll be another type of woman who over there like, bitch, we know you ain't shit. They gonna come and let you know you ain't shit. But see, we know you gonna end up blocking her. She gonna get blocked because she know it. So she didn't resort to handling you like you her son. Right? And then there's the ones who come over there that troll because she come to troll just to inform you that you ain't nothing but a bitch. And she's prepared to be blocked. The truth of the matter is, let's be honest. Here on YouTube, right, we have several types of men and black men, okay? Several types of black men. But for the majority, you younger ones, the ones who too strong, too big, too bold to even listen to your fathers, your uncles, the older men. Um, y'all are pussies. Y'all pussies. That's a fucking fact. I smell pussy. Listen, I know what pussy smell like. Most of us as women, we know what pussy smell like. That's why we recognize when we come across some of you. We recognize you a pussy, and then at that time, logic kicks in for us. See, apparently logic don't never kick in for pussies. Logic kicks in for us, and we then make a conscious decision on how we will handle you. You'll have the Jessica X's who knows that she can just throw around some phony ass doctored up pictures. See, a woman who consciously have doctored her pictures and put them out there for you all to see, she consciously know that will get your attention, nigga. So she already made a conscious decision on how to fuck with y'all, how to get you on her side, how to get you to fight for a bitch you don't even know. And this nigga George said he got some protection to give. It's not real protection, but he would at least scream to her, "Stop screaming! Bitch, stop screaming! Go around the car, bitch! Bitch, run! Run for it! Run!" Fuck out of here, lame ass nigga. Anyway, let me see what else y'all got to say. George, you a bitch. Okay. Davis, oh Lord. Brandy, how you doing, sis? Okay. Gemini, let me see you. Don Juan, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? Okay. Ebony Man, what's going on? Linda Anderson say, listen to the video. He walked up with his daughter, told the woman he wanted his daughter to see that dog. Yes, he did. Oh Lord. I didn't know that was him. I was like, yeah, I want somebody. I heard somebody say, yeah, I want my daughter to see the dog. This nigga, the reason why that dog came out is because he went there to show. So what the fuck? Wait a minute. I'm not sure if y'all can hear it when I play it, but if y'all can't hear it, let me know. I'm gonna switch it over, the sound over. But let's listen to the video. Let me see if I had to turn it up. She said, hey, he waving, hey. He said, oh, I just want to show her the dog. Listen. Let me back it up a little bit. Here we go. He walking up. That nigga. He brought his daughter. See, instead of him just taking his daughter straight in the house, he the one who said, I want to show my daughter the dog. Okay. That's why this black woman even allowed that dog to come out. Then this nigga, she said, oh shit, he got through the gate. Apparently she didn't know she had a little space that he can work his way out of. Now see, she probably could have controlled that dog if he wouldn't have ran. That dog since pussy. You understand? And the daddy is who he focused on. That dog never focused on that child at all. So let's play it. We're gonna rewind it. Y'all look, y'all might hate me for this. We're gonna play this video over and over again. But I'm gonna put the link in the room. Let me grab it. Y'all can watch me grab it, right? I think I go participants. Give me a second. This is where I go and I grab that link like that. I copy that link like that. Boom. Okay. And I'm gonna come and put that shit in the room. And any and everybody's welcome to come up. Now let's roll this beam footage, baby. Oh, he's still saying no, 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 no. Stop crying, Nana. Get over there. Get over there. This George. George, you in the room still? Just identify you, nigga. Just say, hey, that's me on top of that vehicle. Tell us how you a pussy, nigga, and how when Jessica X is in trouble, you gonna point her. You gonna point to her and tell her where to go. And when she's screaming, you gonna tell her, stop screaming, Jessica, just go that way. And the other black woman who might be your mother, you know what I mean, or your daughter, your niece. How about your nephew, your son? See, this nigga is a pussy. It wouldn't have mattered who the other person is. This is that save yourself ass nigga right here. Save yourself, black man. Save yourself, black man. Save yourself, black man. You the strong one. You the leader. You the one with all the masculinity. You the head of the household. I guess to these niggas, head of the household mean follow the leader, right? That means once that nigga jumped on that vehicle, everybody should have just been right behind him. Even though there may have been somebody who couldn't have jumped up there because her legs are a little too short. See, this nigga didn't even know to reach down and grab his daughter. If somebody would have been able to say, well, Bomb, he jumped up there so he could reach for her and lift her up to safety. No, nigga. This nigga was telling her to go a whole nother direction. He probably would have preferred it, because if she could have led the dog, see if his daughter could have ran and the dog followed the daughter, he would have been safe. And this is what's going on in our Black community, especially if we go by what's happening here on YouTube. These niggas want to talk about, well, we demand respect. Well, the nigga who was up there, Zach, last night and this morning, Zach, this is why you don't get no respect, little nigga. That's you up there. For you niggas who over there with Mr. Fantastic talking this nonsense, this is you over there. This is you. And notice how that black woman held her composure. And listen, this looked like this took place in a matter of seconds. This wasn't even a whole minute. This may have been 20 seconds. But that's all it took for this little nigga right here to show why he deserved, you know what I mean? Why he deserved to be head of the household. And why he deserved to be looked at as the leader. Why he don't need no motherfucking elder educating him on anything. Y'all don't see it on here on YouTube. Y'all don't notice in the black sector, right? In this black sector, we have a group of men who are always downing the black man who is married. The black man who's married and on here, and he was willing to share. He has a good job, so he's trying to direct the men to something that would be beneficial to him as far as education, as far as job decision, and also as it relates to families. I can name several of those men. DOD was one of those men who was educating us on history. If y'all haven't checked out his channel, when he goes in and inform us about history, and even his family, how a portion of his family played a part in Black American history. Most of y'all don't even know that brother like that. See, I do though, right? Because I'm in all these areas educating myself. I listen to these brothers, and yes, a lot of them I disagree with. But we have men on here who have come up on panels and say, yeah, I'm married. I've been married for a while. I love my wife. I am the leader. And this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you become head of the household, where the women will listen to you and respect you. But guess what? These little niggas will say, well, you're old. You're old. It don't happen like that no more. But if they only ask this brother is the same age as you. See, some of these niggas who be like, but Bam, you're old. Nigga, what? Nigga, you're not even young enough to be my son. The only motherfuckers who should be saying, well, Bam, that was in your day, should be niggas who are my son's age. If you are 30 or younger, you could be my son if I was having children at a young age. If you are over the age of 30, nigga, shut the whole fuck up about that age shit. Do you not understand? You was born when I was still in school. Y'all little motherfuckers try to be slick with it. See, that's why some of these niggas I thought were young. When I find out you 37, 38, 39, I'm like, nigga, what? Nigga, what? So you making it seem like you are so far behind. Pussy was pussy back in the 40s, the 30s, the 20s. When we talking about the 1800s, men and women had same type of relationships. The differences is the morals in our country, the laws, the things that people don't find important anymore. And you motherfuckers, the ones who claim it's not that way anymore, is mainly on you men. When we women say it's you the one who want to see us popping our asses on Instagram. How do we know it? Because the numbers say so. And then at the same time, you complain about it. You complain about it, but you want it. You want to complain about what women are doing, but you advocate for it. Jessica X is a popping pussy ass bitch. She just might not be popping her pussy because she don't have a pretty one. Literally popping her pussy. But I be goddamn if she ain't over there twerking all in y'all area. Showing y'all doctored up pictures over and over again. And y'all over there, it's like this bitch and gave y'all something in y'all drinks. Let me drop this link. Let me drop this link because I could go on forever and ever. This shit right here, this should be an embarrassment to you niggas. No, look at him. Oh, no. This nigga like, no. Y'all see his head shaking back and forth? That's our leaders, lady. Let's get it. This nigga need a real man to have a conversation with him for real. Some of these real masculine men in his area, y'all need to go and get and jerk this nigga up by his collar. Inform him how he made black men look like bitches. Put your foot in his ass and teach him how he need to be standing 10 toes down instead of bent over on top of a car talking about no, I don't really want to suck your dick. No, but okay, let me should I lick on this nut right here? Should I jiggle your balls in my mouth? Like what? Oh my God, y'all. I'm sorry. I just want to cry. I want to cry. I'm using jokes and shit to cover for my desire to shed a tear. This is if this was my son. If this was my son, yo, I would disappear from this internet shit. You see what I'm saying? We would have to go on TV shows so he can defend himself. And I would have to let him know, look, you're going to have to just go and apologize. You're going to have to let people know that you got caught in some weakness. You're going to, because see, this needs an explanation, bitch. So I'm waiting for, let me put the link in. I need you niggas to come up here and give us some of them regular explanations that you're so willing to throw up when a woman does something. Here go the link. Hey, what's up, Crystal? What's going on? 757 primetime, what's going on? Mark Anthony, what's going on? Marcus, how y'all doing? Listen. How y'all doing? Mama Rain, what's going on? Mama Rain said, Mama Rain. So that's a whole big bitch, a whole big dusty bitch crying on the car. No. That's what listen. I don't doubt that that's a man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put a lot of money on it, but I'm just telling you, these men they only see her light skin. They only see her light skin. That's all. That's right. Child neglect. Brandy mentioned that it could be child neglect if somebody see this shit. That as men and women, mothers and fathers, even if it was an aunt who's in charge of that child at that time, or aunt or uncle, or even if it was a babysitter, right? You have an obligation to protect the child who is in your care. This nigga has proven that he is not to be trusted, not even with a child, nor a cat, no animals or nothing. If it was another dog, this nigga would have left his little puppy to be brutal and attacked by a bigger dog. If it was his daughter, he left his daughter there to be attacked brutally. Do y'all know what that dog could have done that child? Like, for fucking real. Let's get real with it. What could that dog have done to that child if he was paying attention to that child? while this nigga is jumping on a car, screaming like the bitch that most of you niggas on YouTube are. Fuck up out of here. Fuck up out of here. Let me go through some of these comments real quick. And anybody's welcome to come up. Okay, let me see. Cater, Ring to the Culture with Dr. G. How you doing, Dr. G? I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm hoping everything is well with you, sis. Okay. Cut to the Chase TV. What's going on, baby? Let me see. George, why does it even matter? Even if my child was dark skinned, I still go toe to toe with a pet bull for my child. There you go. See, that's a man. That's a man. That's right. See, most of the men, those of you who are men, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You are fathers, even if you're not fathers, but you know what I'm talking about. We have some of us as Black people, since we've been in the situation we've been in, we know that there might become a time where you have to put your life on the line. And it's scary. I get it. That's why we live in this constant fear. If we were to be honest, there's always a fear of having to die for someone you love. This situation here, wow, Lord have mercy. This shit right here, baby. Okay. Anyway, let me see. D.O.D., I mentioned your name, brother. I hope you didn't mind me saying that. You know I've always respected you no matter what. Okay. Let's see. Linda Anderson say, Black women, stop trying to compete with your daughters, nieces, and your 50, and in your 50s, stop trying to twerk. Such pickle against 18 to 30-year-olds. Sit your cremation and listen, Linda. I know you might Linda Anderson, here you go. Let me tell you something. You are the type of bitch who be fighting with your daughters. I don't even have listen, there's more women in my area than men, although I do have a lot of men in my area as well, which speaks volumes for a woman who speaks on topics like this, right? That tells you that people understand that I'm not against nor the male nor the female. I'm definitely not on here competing with anyone. I lift up my sisters and I lift up my brothers. Sometimes the women get mad at me. Well, they don't get mad, but they disagree with me because I am lifting up my brothers. And sometimes the brothers get mad at me when I'm lifting up my sisters. But see, what that tells me is that at least people see that I'm doing what I want to do. I want to support both, right? That's what it tells me. And so for you to claim that I or any woman in this area, whether we're older, younger, or the same age, is in competition with other women is ridiculous. If I disagree with another woman, then I voice it because I can do that. I'm a human being and I have a voice. If I realize that somebody is nasty and they're out to harm us as a group of people, then I will call it out. But I can do that just like they can. Now, for you to, now you mentioning twerking. Bitch, I have a big ass. God gave it to me, and I decided to twerk it, to share it with everybody. And if you don't want to see it, bitch, then go about your way. The only reason you know about me twerking is because you over there watching, ho. But see what you notice in my twerking area? I'm not putting down not a woman or a male. I am over there having fun with the people who have been following me for years. So if anybody would be jealous of anybody, bitch, it would be a bitch like you jealous of me and other women. See, I have no reason to be jealous of a Jessica X. Because, bitch, I could put up a picture of me at her age and she ain't got shit on me. But see, I never done that. I never mentioned that until this conversation right now. But what I have said is there are a whole lot of beautiful women in this area right the fuck now who makes her look like she ain't shit. Cause she ain't shit. I could call the women out, but I don't want to put them on blast. You know what I'm saying? But just go through the pictures in this area and you'll see a whole shitload of beautiful women. Some natural and some not. Whatever these women decide to do, focus on their careers or their families, bitch, that's on them. And I encourage it all. Decision making and loving yourself. So what I would tell your old ass, because I'm looking at your picture, bitch, and you don't look like a young bitch, is to get up here and speak if you got something to say. Other than that, fuck off, bitch. Okay? Because I'm trying not to make this no drama on no bitch who just have a picture up. Okay? You're not ready for this work. And you're probably under a troll name. You're probably somebody like Black Woman Spear or that dead bitch who been dead for a while. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully she stay that way. Or you one of them bitches who was in that clique. Shut the whole fuck up. Okay? Now let's get back to it. Sorry about that, y'all. Why would I be jealous of a Jessica X bitch? Jessica X wish she had the following I have. In fact, I'm the bitch who would tell the men to go and support her if she wasn't on this Black woman hate bullshit. I would have sent a whole group of men. Right now, I could go post a picture, right? Uh, on my, in case you didn't know, I do support other women. I post their pictures in my areas and give them the traffic that I get. But if I was a hating ass bitch, I would be keeping that traffic to myself. You see? So a bitch like me, I share my traffic. Fuck up out of here, ho. Most I could go and post a picture just on my Facebook, and she'll have about 10,000 men within a week coming over to her area. I'll be like, go and support this woman. And them men will, it's a beautiful picture, right? They'll go over and support her. Anyway, let's see. What's up, underrated? Job, how you doing, my sexy bald head friend? The beauty, what's going on? My beautiful, see, y'all, listen, we got a lot of beautiful women in this area. That's all I'm gonna say about that, okay? Monica B, what's going on? Monica B picture is over there. She looking like a beautiful sister. Fuck up out of here. And I don't want to make it seem like other women are competing with Jessica, because a lot of women, we're not down for competing. The only way we will compete, will we compete? Fuck yeah. But when we compete, is for an man, a particular man. It's not for men's attention. We don't compete for men's attention. We will compete for a man's attention. See, I know a lot of you bitches, some of you bitches, y'all don't understand that. I know that a lot of these niggas don't. That means if there was a man I was interested in, you goddamn right, I will compete for him. You goddamn right. I see him with a woman, around a woman, and I think I want him. Fuck out of here. My husband was one of them. Okay? I decided I wanted him, and I just happened to be a winner in that case. And listen, I haven't always been the winner. I've dated men who ended up dating other women. So I'm just saying that's a part of life, you dumb bitch. But I know you don't know it. Okay, anyway. Salute to my Louisiana sister. What's going on, LaShawn? How you doing, baby? You doing good? That's right. We show support over here and love. Jacob, how you doing, baby? What's going on? Anyway, I am supportive of my brothers and my sisters. I do support Black love, but Black love, when I mention it, right? It's not. It doesn't have to be a Black on Black. If a Black person finds love wherever you find it, that's your business. But I will support you as the Black person who's in that relationship. And that's how I think it should be. We're supposed to support one another within our decisions, just in case, because if you have a child, the child, you know what I mean? We got these Black men talking about going to other races of women while claiming they divesting from the Black community. But see, once you have children, you're going to realize that community you thought you was getting away from, you ain't going nowhere, baby. Because that might be the only community who might accept your child for whom he or she is. Some people find that that's a weakness in Black community. Y'all find that we always accepting of people. Y'all find that to be a weakness. I find that to be, it could be a weakness, but it also could be a strength. You see? Now, accepting someone who don't claim that they're Black, that's ridiculous, right? If you claiming you're not Black, you don't want anything good in the Black community, you're not actively doing something, then fuck off. We're not accepting you because you're not accepting yourself. Okay? Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get back to this bullshit. Let's see. Boom, boom. Let's get back to the bullshit. I didn't even realize this man had called that dog. He the one who wanted the daughter to see the dog. I did not realize that. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, that's a Southern accent, y'all. I don't know where this took place at, but he was like, I want to show her that dog. He sounded like he could be from my area, but I know it's Southern. But anyway. That nigga. No, 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 no. Lord have mercy, y'all. Just admit it. Everybody in here who's Black, you should be embarrassed. Anybody who's in here and you're a parent, you should be embarrassed. If you're a man, you know what I mean? You should be embarrassed. If you're a woman, you should be embarrassed. Especially in the Black community, we all should be embarrassed. Some level of embarrassment here. I'm embarrassed by being a woman and a mother of Black sons, or a wife of a Black man. I'm embarrassed being a part of the Black community. I'm embarrassed. I'm just plain and simply embarrassed. Okay. And then I know some of these men gonna blame his mama. It's his mama fault because she didn't raise him to be that strong man. Well, a lot of you men, and when I say men, I'm talking about these Jessica X ass niggas. Yeah, this is you. That's why you relate with that bitch. You relate with that bitch, and you probably relate with this nigga. Okay. He probably one of them niggas over there talking about, well, I'm not one of them Pookies and Ray Rays, but I don't have to follow and listen to no old nigga, because no old nigga can't help me. No old nigga can't teach me nothing. Just because he old don't mean he could. I agree with you. Just because somebody is older does not mean they're your elder, right? Doesn't mean that they can educate you on anything. But at the same time, just because he's older doesn't mean he cannot educate you. So I say it all the time. Just because somebody's old don't mean they should be trying to offer any help, trying to make it seem like they out here helping. I agree with that, right? If a person can't even show you their lives, and you even want to be, you might not want my life, right? You might want to be more wealthier than me and my family, but you might want a family. And let me tell you something, I wouldn't trade my fucking, listen, I wouldn't trade my fucking family if somebody said, here's $1 million, $10 million. If somebody said, here's $10 million, I would have to sit here and think about that shit hard. And then the only thing I would be thinking about is, how could that $10 million help my family? I may take the $10 million if they say take $10 million, but you can't talk to your family for 10 years. Let's say $10 million, can't talk to them for 10 years. Will I take it? Probably. And what I would do with that $10 million is I would give most of it to my family so they could get a come up. It would hurt me to my heart to not be able to contact them for 10 years. But see, I raised my children to be able to handle whatever they got to handle. And plus, their dad will be there. But if somebody say, look, I'm going to give you $10 million for you not to have your kids. Or if you could go back in time. People ask me that all the time. If you go back in time, would you make the same, go through the same shit? There's a few things in my life that I wish didn't happen. But I stand 10 toes down when I say I would go through that shit again, as long as it's going to lead to where I am with my family. Because without my husband, right, I wouldn't have my sons. So I'm very happy with my family, baby. So yes, I would go through all that shit all over again. I know some people don't have that type of family. Some people say, fuck that. I'm taking that money. I'm going to start all over again. And nothing's wrong with that. That's your decision, your life. Nothing's wrong with that. But I'm saying for me, though. Okay? Anyway. What's going on, Doctor? Monica say, even if he did it for money, he a bitch for traumatized. He traumatized this little girl. Some of y'all think that this was a setup? Wait a minute. That little girl, for you men who might be watching. Okay, I want to say males, but the women say, when I say females, is bad. So I guess I got for the, I don't want to say boys. I do, but for the boys who watching, right? Or you Jessica X motherfuckers, for you, those of you who are watching, in case you didn't know, this little girl, even though the father may be in her life, it looks like he's there, so he's in her life. She just learned a very, very valuable lesson that she will take with her throughout her fucking life. See, I know because I had the reverse happen, right? I think I've told you stories where my father almost got his whole arm taken off by jumping in front of my mother to protect her. So for me, that's why Black men will always be fucking what I consider, you're like gods to me. I look up to you. I know some of the women don't like when I say that, but this is based on my life. A man who I don't know, a Black man who I don't know, if we was in a store and you approached me and said something to me to correct me, I would look at you and give it some thought of what you're telling me out of respect, because that is what I grew up with. I grew up respecting the men, right? So yes, there's another side of that, right? There's the women who didn't have that. This little girl, though, is going to have the opposite effect of what took place with me. See, she watched her fucking daughter, I mean her father, the person who's supposed to be her hero. She watched him jump on a vehicle and leave her to fend for herself. I want to cry for that young girl right now. Because that's, man, oh my God. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for some of you didn't have fathers, but you may have had an uncle or older cousin or even a grandfather. Just imagine, and you have some level of respect there, right? That may have been your male hero type. Just imagine that person doing some shit like this. Oh my God. Anyway, I don't even know what to tell y'all, man. I listen, Monica, I get it. And I hope, and now this man has, remember when these men was over there, see, look what this woman did. Look what she just said. And this morning is happening this. We had a young woman up here, a beautiful young Black woman up here. And she had said that she's dating someone, That's her man, right? And she was talking about interest in another man. She's not living with this other man, and she nor do she have a ring. So they haven't solidified anything. So she, in her opinion, she says there's no ring on it, so she could do what she want, which also means he could do what he want. To see, the men wanted to focus on her, and then they was like, see, that's what the men saying. Well, y'all don't want, y'all want to give your vaginas to whoever y'all want to give them to. Yeah, it's our fucking vaginas. But every woman don't feel the same. You know, some women say, hell yeah, I'm not locked down. He don't want to make that move. So why should I be waiting for something that may never happen? Some women say, well, if we have committed to each other, even in just name, you know, by you calling me your man and he calling me his woman and blah blah blah. Some people say, well, that means I'm taking off the market and no, I'll be cool. See, so we got different type of women with different type of opinions. These men harped on that shit. See, that's why we don't like black women. See, women aren't loyal. See, women this, women that, women this. Well, okay, now this is why I'm doing this stream today. Since y'all want to hop on that, I know these niggas gonna make a video about it, y'all. They're gonna use the little clip from that little video so they can put it on repeat. Well, bitch, here you go. Let me answer that video with this one. See, it is her vagina and she can do what she wants. She's young. She can make her own decisions, whether you like it, man, or not. If her man has no issue with it, she said, well, I wouldn't tell him. Just like she said, whatever he's doing, as long as he don't tell her. So that means she's not searching through his shit trying to find anything. And they living their lives how they want to live their lives in that situation. These men gonna beat it to death, y'all. Y'all know that. Ladies, you already know. They gonna beat that shit to death. So as long as I keep hearing them play that shit, then I'm gonna continue to play this shit. Not to mention just this shit, I'm gonna put on replay when these niggas got tricked by Jessica X and her friend, who she probably brought over there. That white guy who happened to be on that panel and tricked all them niggas. You Jessica X niggas is an embarrassment to the whole black community. Right now, you are holding the title of a bitch. I'm not even calling you Black Manosphere men. I'm calling you Jessica X niggas. She's your king. Her dick probably longer than yours. It's just tucked. But this isn't about Jessica X, you lame ass nigga. This is about you. And the lame ass niggas who thought it was smart to come in and say, well, you know, I probably would help someone who looked like Jessica X than any other black woman. That means you're talking about looks, nigga. What man sits there and you supposed to be the man, right? You the man, you have the masculinity, you supposed to be in charge, you supposed to be the leader, but you decide who you're going to help. And in that decision is just based on looks. That in itself tell us that you're gonna, if there's some white people, you don't even, and we already know this. See, I'm gonna be honest, okay? Mr. Fantastic, your area is filled with self-hating ass niggas. Y'all sit over there like a bunch of fucking coons lumped up together. And y'all think that's why that white boy came over there to fuck with y'all. See, that's what white people think about you. See, I don't know if you know this or not. I've already admitted I can sit in areas, especially around white men, and I can sit there and they will talk, listening to what they have been saying for years. And you think that they come to you wanting to be your brother in arms. Nigga, they look at you like you lower than anybody. Because if you go against your own kind, you are a fucking traitor. That's like being an American, but deciding that you're going to go and fight with the other side. You're going to go with the Germans. You're going to go over there with Russians. And you're going to sit over there because you like the way the Russians look. or the Russians have power, and so you decide you're going to go over there and you're going to hang with the Russians, and you're going to say, you know, those Russians are so much better than the Americans. Nigga, you a whole fucking traitor out here, and them white men don't play that shit. They might play with a lot of things, but they don't play with that American shit. And they definitely don't like traitors. And you looking like a whole fucking traitor. They might say, oh, they might introduce you. Hey, this is that nigga who helped us, y'all. Here he go. Let's give him a hand and thank him for all his help. They're gonna come and they're gonna shake your hand, and then they're gonna string you up first. Cause see, they don't trust you. They figure your own people don't trust you. You stab your own fucking family in the back, nigga. What would make you think that they gonna trust you? They go, as a matter of fact, they're gonna string you up first because they know you're not loyal to nothing. These niggas are the worst. That's how you know. And I'm shocked that Mr. Fantastic, when he says he's a military dude. I'm starting to question a lot of things. You say you're a military dude. You don't understand honor? Even us as black people, those of us who were in the military, see, we have been brainwashed and pushed that honor shit, right? So we believe in that American shit, even though we know that we be shitted on. We still be like, okay, I'm America first. I'm America first. I'm America first. Yeah, I'm going to jump in front of the bullet. Yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's the training of everything dealing with military. Except you don't think that being black is enough. Even listen, if they were shooting at black people, right? If they decide if white people decide to shoot at black people, I'm sorry, in case some of y'all don't know it, if they don't know who to pluck off, some of you gonna get plucked off right off the bat. You can't hide your skin color. You trying to hide your skin color with your talking points. But let me tell you something. Them white people are not giving not two fucks. The ones who are against you, nigga, they not giving two fucks on how much you help for or not. They don't care about your talking points, nigga. Y'all some sad ass motherfuckers, man. Y'all said, unfortunately, until unproven otherwise, white people see most of us as the same. Traitors to our. I agree with that, Mark Anthony. I think it's either one or two. They think that we won't be a traitor towards them, towards our own, or that we are traitors towards our own. With not most white people, but these white supremacist type, right? I'm not lumping all white people together, so I don't want to do that. But what I am saying, those who are against black people, though, they don't care. It don't matter. You could be the nicest black person ever. They already against you. But anyway, we're not gonna make this about race. Unfortunately, these Jessica X motherfuckers, they are the ones always talking about race. And they're anti-black. They think because you decided to do better in your life, that means you need to shed your blackness. You ever thought that your blackness could be the one thing that allows you to rise above a lot of this nonsense? See, they take their blackness as a weakness and they're trying to shed it away. Your blackness is your strength. That's what's going to help you get through a lot of bullshit. These niggas over there trying to whitewash themselves. Oh yeah, well, I'm just gonna part myself from black people because black people, nigga, we got a lot of black people who are hardworking people. But see, you don't see that because you are listening to, your leaders, white people, racist white people. You're a whole nigga. Anyway, I hear my husband clapping, so the Cowboys must have did something good. He's a Cowboy fan, okay? I hear him down there like this. Anyway, let me see. Let these young, beautiful women shine, Bomb Cherry. Sit your old citizen ass down. Let Jessica X. Listen, I am a grandmother, Linda X. At any time You want to come up here. If you saying that I'm attacking and that I am competing against the young people, bitch, I'm looking at your photo. You look old as fuck. So why don't you come up here and compete with me? I could turn this webcam on at any time. Well, not right now. I'm naked, but it only take me like 3 minutes to put on some clothing. And I ain't even gonna put on no clothing. Most of y'all see me all the time in my nightgown, my grandma outfit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm telling you, ho, is I won't have to go put on no makeup. I don't need no filters on or none of that motherfucker shit, bitch. You come up here and let's do this. Even Jessica X, I'm telling that bitch, since you're saying I'm competing against her, tell her to get her fucking ass up here and turn that webcam on. My hair has not even been combed. I combed today. Okay, it's just up, standing straight the fuck up and all over the place. And what I'm saying, bitch, I'm not gonna touch my hair. I'm not gonna put on no makeup. I'll just put on something so you don't see my nudity and my nipples and shit like that, and turn this webcam on. Can she say the same? Fuck up out of here. No, she don't want that smoke. These men have seen me. Yes, they have. Nobody's calling me a catfish. In the beginning, some of the women were calling me catfishes, though, right? Because, yes, I tell my age all the time. I've never hidden that. But when you see photos, they were saying, oh, those are old photos. No, bitch. I take photos. Selfies, right? That's what y'all into these days. Yeah, you right. So I don't look like I'm my age, but yes, that's me, baby. And that wasn't long ago. And then I get on live all the time. So the only time I look like a grandma bitch is when I'm actively attempting to look like a grandma. That's when I'm over here and you see me put on certain things. Okay. That's me really legitly trying to be a grandmother. Well, the room. Okay. Anyway, nobody want to come up. We're not gonna do. I didn't hear nobody try to come in. I did put the link out there. I'm gonna put it in again. We're gonna play this video again. And listen, I just want you brothers, not my brothers. I'm talking about my black men, the black men, you masculine black men. Those of you who understand your role. You understand you don't have to protect everybody, but you know that you protect your family. Right? With nobody saying that you're supposed to be out here protecting everybody. We got some women who don't even want, they might not accept that from a man they don't know. And that's understandable, right? A woman who may not know you may not be so willing to bow down to you. Some of you men, you understand that, right? That's how the men who are men and understand this, they approach a woman that they don't know in a particular way. They don't just come to save the day like they fucking Superman. Telling her, move to the side, young woman. That could be intimidating and it could scare a lot of women. Okay? So, yes, mature men understand this. Little boys, though, they cry. They cry because the woman sharing her pussy with somebody else, even though he not even getting the pussy. Y'all should have heard that conversation this morning. Me and my husband was over here laughing our asses off. So this young woman who was giving her scenario on her life, sharing it, these men pretty much wanted to go on the attack. Y'all dick watch another niggas' penises. Y'all telling us, I've heard one man on Mr. Fantastic Area, he said that Asian men isn't getting a lot of pussy. Oh, Asian men not getting a lot of pussy. We don't see that. Well, nigga, are you over there in the Asian men area looking at who they fucking? Because let me tell you something in case you don't know it. Asian men are highly sorted after by white women, black women, other Asian women. So you are a whole goddamn lie. And I never hear Asian men complaining about not getting women. Just like y'all say that Asian women are beautiful to you. Well, why wouldn't you think that an Asian man couldn't be just as handsome? Fuck up out of here. That's that nonsense y'all be talking. Silent, how you doing, baby? He said, Bomb, you don't look your age. You still look young. Sound like these young girls are threatened by you. I don't think it's the young girls aren't threatened by me, and they shouldn't be. I just think that some of these bitches, though, some of them bitches are hating. Okay, these motherfuckers who dislike me. Like the black woman spears. You know what I mean? The women who always hide. See, there's a group of women who like to hide. They hide. They hide because they can't take the insults that they know they're gonna get, and they just don't understand that the insults that they're getting isn't really about their outer appearance. It's really that inner nastiness that they have that shines brightly, baby. It shines bright like a diamond. Just like this nigga here. This nigga shining bright like a diamond, baby. Come on, let's see it again. Go over that nigga. You go over there with her. Look at this nigga. Oh my God. That little girl is traumatized for all her life. All the rest of her motherfucking life. That is it, baby. That is it. She's screaming for her hero. Daddy, 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 daddy. Like, go over there, go over there. But daddy, why are you not coming over there with me? Protect me, daddy. You my hero. Oh my God, y'all. I can't. I'm right now. I'm trying to picture my dad doing some shit like that, and I can't even put it. I just can't. I can't see it. I watched my dad be willing to go out there and fight other men just because they were looking at me or my mother, you know, looking at us in a disrespectful way. My dad was on it, baby. There was a lot of people who know who Manuel was. And Manuel, you ain't fuck with Manuel's family. You did not fuck. Listen, we had a sense of protection. We was protected, and my dad wouldn't even be nowhere around us. I've heard people say, "Oh, that's Manuel. That's Manuel," and them men stopped doing or saying what the fuck they were doing. Soon as somebody recognized that my mother was my daddy's wife, or we was my father's children, they all you heard people say, "That's Lil Manuel." My brother who was doing some foul ass shit, even he was protected within his nonsense because of who my dad was. People knew, yeah, my brother was getting away with shit that he shouldn't have been getting away with just because of my fucking father, who he was. They would go to my dad and say, "Hey, your son broke in my house." You know what I mean? They didn't go to shoot him and hurt my brother because they knew that my family was a family who would come back for fucking revenge. So they would use common sense and go and just talk to my dad or one of my uncles and say, "Hey, your nephew did this," you know. This nigga here, y'all know goddamn well. And you men, y'all size up men. See, that's why we got a division here on YouTube. We have a group of men who know that other niggas will size them up and punk them out real quick. Y'all know I know what I'm talking about. You men, I've been on a dance floor with one dude just dancing. Another dude is standing to the side. I see him looking at me, but he's looking at me, deciding he want to dance with me, and he see me looking dancing with this dude. He realizes, okay, he could tell that we're not married, that we're not in a relationship. You could tell that based on how we dance, because I'm just dancing with this dude. I don't really know this dude. This nigga walks up, start dancing on side of us, and then he does a spin and lands in the middle of me and this other dude. Now I have two men. I was dancing with one man. He cut so blatantly and really disrespectfully to the man, especially. He cuts in and starts dancing with me. Why did he do that? See, because they wouldn't do that to every dude, right? They sizing the nigga up and realizing if thinking that whether they could take him or not. He looked like he not even gonna do shit if this shit goes down. Then he usually hit up his boys to make sure they gonna have his back, because what he about to pull might start some shit. Men size each other up, and then they will call another nigga out. And we got a lot of niggas who can't even walk on the streets in their neighborhoods. That's why they're on YouTube talking all this nonsense. The Game Changers. Can y'all imagine Game Changer outside in the motherfucking sun? This nigga is so soft. You know what I mean? This nigga is pillow soft. Even I don't feel threatened by a Game Changer. And I do show him disrespect because the nigga is very disrespectful, not in his tone, not in most of the things he say, but I can tell that he's a pussy. And as humans, we all do it to an extent. I know he a pussy, and I know I could punk his ass out. And I'm a woman. So we already know this nigga not walking down no streets, not in no hood. And even if he live in a goddamn suburban area, them white motherfuckers is recognize that he's soft. Nigga, you need to find your family members, your cousins, your uncles, your daddy, somebody. You need an older man to help you walk down the street with your head high. See, a nigga who walking down any street looking at the ground, nigga, you'd already been sized up. We realize you can't even hold your head up. You're not even looking at where you going. You want to be on here telling people, black people, what they should be doing. Nigga, raise your fucking head up and look where you're walking. You just stepped in dog shit, bitch, because you was looking, you know what I mean? You wasn't looking even straight ahead. You wasn't looking straight ahead. You was looking down. By the time you saw that dog shit, it was after you stepped in it. But if your head had been up a little bit, you would have saw the dog shit a whole fucking mile away. Fuck these lame ass niggas. Okay? You want to be like this nigga who can't even protect your daughters? Fuck you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Then this nigga called for this shit. If it would have been something, if he would have just been walking up with his daughter, he's holding his daughter's hand right now, walking up, waving. Walking up, waving. Let's make it bigger. Let's see. Can y'all see him over there? I can't even make it bigger because it's a video. It's a video. Shit. He over there waving at the neighbor, holding his daughter's hand, looking like the father he should be. Looking like the father he should be. And then this bitch said, oh, I wanted my daughter to see the dog. I want my daughter to see the dog. And as soon as the dog said roof, this nigga went to running. What you say? Anyway, let me see. Let's do it like that. And then we gonna have some of the niggas go call this woman. They gonna call this woman fat, y'all. Y'all already see it coming. This woman right here gonna be called fat. You know it. Y'all ladies, we watching this video. You already know how they gonna tear this shit apart. They calling her fat, even though this woman is nowhere near fat. They calling him. They gonna make it seem like it's her fault that this shit even happened. When they gonna act like they didn't hear this man ask to see the dog. You see. And by the way, they wasn't recording with the phones. She got a camera up, and the other camera view is from his house. A lot of these communities now, a lot of people have cameras in the house. I have cameras outside my house and inside my house. They come with package deals these days. Mine come with my cable company. You know what I'm saying? They give you a good deal. You live in certain neighborhoods, you most definitely want to catch people if they breaking your shit. Okay. Anyway, let me see what y'all talking about. I gotta plug my iPad up because it's at 2%. Let's see. Um. Let's see. You talk about Bomb's grandson again, and you what she said about my grandson? Wait a minute. Let me see. You're trying to pussy watch. I never watched. What you talking about? I never talked about Jessica's pussy. What are you talking about? And by the way, I'm not a motherfucking great grandmother. I'm not a great great grandmother nor a great grandmother, bitch. I am a grandmother for the first time. And guess what, bitch? I was 50 years old. That tells you something, right? I was a mother. When I became a mother, I had been married for 5 years. And on top of that, I was 25 years old. My second son came when I was 27 years old. I didn't have my children very young. And I was married. So we could talk about my pussy, bitch. But what you need to know is that in the last 30 years, it's been my husband all in my pussy. And he ain't never let it go. Okay. So, and then you said, Lil Freaky gonna see all your pussy pics. That's what they said about my children. So when you this is what I need you to do. When you post up a pussy pic of mine, I need you to go and show everybody. Send me my pussy pic, bitch, so I can share it with everybody in this room right now. Cause see, you bitches be saying a lot of shit. Y'all be talking a whole lot of shit. I need you to send me the pussy pic of mine that you have seen. Besides me doing the actual shaving of my vagina and underpits and legs. See, what happened was I did a whole video for someone, a website, in which men, right? Which men like women with hair. But I was shaving my hair. And of course, I wasn't shaving my head, but I shaved my legs, my underpits, and my vajayjay. This video was to even educate women on how to shave correctly, so they won't have bumps, infections, and things like that. Now, somebody, because nothing sexual about that fucking video, but somebody saw that I did the shaving part of my vajayjay. They cut it up and took that part out. Cool. I'm even okay with that. Now, what I need you to do, bitch, is I need you to show what you're talking about. Because even when I was shaving my vagina, bitch, there was nothing sexual about it. I showed the women the type of cream they should use, how to wipe, how if the hair is too long, that you don't use this first, use some clippers first or scissors. See, that was an actual video that was on a site that wasn't an adult site. I could tell you the site name and you could go and check it out. Right? That's what I could do. But see, you, like the rest of these bitches, have decided. See, the men don't talk about my pussy. They don't talk about, because first of all, they don't have a problem with seeing pussy. You women though, who went and watched the video and you talk about it a lot, I don't blame you, bitch. I have a pretty vagina. I have a pretty vagina, bitch. So let her continue to talk her nonsense as she talks about uh anything that you claim that my grandson gonna see. If my children haven't seen it, because they smart enough to know, where not to go, what not to do. And if they saw it and didn't know it's me, then of course that wouldn't matter, now would it? You was a dumb bitch. Okay. Yeah, she sounds like she got some issues. Y'all notice that it's never the men. I I have done things these men know about, and you never hear them come at me with that shit. It's usually the women. And it's not even the women, right? Because it's not a lot of women at all. It's a very small amount of women who talks about shit. Those who seen it though, they know that it's not much they can say about it. Those who just listen to other people lie about it, then they come over and share shit that they have no proof of. But I tell you this, Linda, though, and I promise you right now, bitch, right this fucking minute, if you want a pussy pic from me, it'll be my pussy, okay? My pussy. If you need that picture, ho, send me your email address, ho. But I need you to send me an email making the request. Say, Bomb, hey, this is Linda Anderson. Boom. Can you send me a picture of your pussy? And I promise you, without a doubt, I will send you a picture of my pussy. Not only that, I'm gonna have my face in it. You're gonna know it's really me. I'm gonna send you that picture that you requested. But I need you to really request it, bitch. You see? I need you to really do the requesting. I just want, see, when you go to show the picture of my pussy in my face. See, I'm gonna be able to say, see, remember when this bitch actually requested the picture of my pussy? But I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you, hoe. Okay? So you can lust after it. But what I will tell you is make sure your husband don't see it. Or what I think you're gonna do with it, I think you're gonna print out my pussy pic, tape it to your ass, and then you're gonna walk in the room with your husband who haven't touched you for a while, and you're gonna tell him I got some new pretty pussy for you. It may turn him on, bitch. Okay? He just gonna be disgusted when he look down when he fucking you and realize it's not that pretty pussy. Your shit look like chewed up spam, hoe. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Yes. Okay. Why would I be jealous of a bitch who can't even show her pictures for real? And I have easily over 100,000 video clips of myself. Fuck up out of here. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Stop crying, Nana. It's Nana's fault already. That little girl hit the car, right? She was running. Let's see, where is that? Right here, she hits the car. His ass he's safe. He's safe. The little girl running. She ran mainly because of the father. See, he could have, if he would have held his composure, she would have been able to run in back of him. He could have stood still and been calm, and nothing would have happened. He still would have been her hero. He crawled up there, leaving her. She runs into the car. Let's do it. Here we go. Boom, right there. She runs into the car because she's panicking. He's hollering, no, 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 no. Stop crying, Nana. See, now it's her fault. It's her fault that even the dog is out there. It's her fault that he's on top of that car. It's her fault because he's scared because Nana is crying. He's telling her to go over there while he's up there. Now, this could have been a time where he could have reached down for her. He could have hurried up and jumped down, grabbed her, and ran. This nigga is a pussy, baby. He's a pussy. Pussy. Wait a minute. Let me grab this. I'm going to grab this. Give me a second. Boom. Okay. We're going to show y'all how it's done. I got to move this out the way. I'm going to crop this little nigga out right here. I'm going to resize it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it at, make it bigger, right? Now what I could do is draw on this nigga, okay? We're going to do some drawing, okay? I'm going to change this color to pink because that's what color pussies usually are, right? And we're going to do an outline of this nigga, right? And so there's all types of pussies, right? This nigga here is the type that has the flaps that comes out. This nigga is a straight pussy, y'all. Okay? Or we're not even making him a pussy right now. We're making him a tampon. There you go. Ladies, the tampon, not the tampon, the pads, the maxi pads with wings, bitch. This nigga is a whole maxi pad with wings. That's what he is. Where the fuck they do this at? In the Black Manosphere. That's where they do this at. But you can't help it. See, even the Black Manosphere as a whole cannot be responsible for this shit because they have a lot of young niggas who've gone rogue. We got young niggas not wanting to listen to the older niggas. we got young niggas not wanting to listen to the older niggas. The older niggas don't even know what to do because they don't want to leave. They know these niggas need some guidance. They don't want to leave them out there just about. But see, this is what's gonna have to happen. Just like us as black women need to stop fucking with some of these dudes. Like we really have to be smart. I used to be against what I'm about to say. You know, because I always had this hope, and I always say, let's not give up on them, y'all. Let's not give up on them. I can't give up on them. They're like our sons, our uncles, our cousins, who protected me when I was young, even as I was growing up, even as an adult. Right now, I could call some cousins who would give me words of wisdom if I needed that. Now, I do have a husband, so I don't need that anymore. But if I didn't have a husband, I'd still have family members. So I used to be against it. And some of you ladies know this, right? I used to be like, y'all, I can't give up on these men. Right? And people like, Bomb, look, you might not give up on them, but I've given up. Ladies, right now, I'm telling you right now today, we have to give up on some of these niggas. Y'all been telling it to me. I'm just letting y'all know y'all were right. Y'all were right. I've even had people on my panel who they want me to be against the women. And of course I am against certain women, right? And their actions, not so much of them, but more their actions. And it's not even I haven't even given up on those women. It's not like I'm over here saying you can't do this. I give them some information and hope that they see my point and maybe they could change it around. I let them know you could change. But they can only change if they want to. They're grown adults. I haven't given up on the women. Those women, right? Not until they do some shit that's been so outrageous where I just I'm not giving up on women, but I give up on that particular woman. In this instance, though, You women, you were right. I see this shit. I wouldn't have never thought I would see no fucking shit like this. So yes, I am now gonna have changed my language. It's not to all you men, you already know that. No, I will always support you, my brothers, even within disagreements. There's a level of respect, and I will always support you. But then there's these niggas here. These type of niggas, I'm sorry. Nigga, you got to go. You're harmful. You're destructive to the whole community as a whole, but to little girls most definitely. Some of these niggas on here got daughters, yo. And they be over there talking about women. And don't they know how harmful that is if a little girl was passing by the door as they were saying these things? If they didn't think their daughters can hear it and that she would internalize that bullshit, it will become destructive. And then you will see some of the things that you don't like in women. You will see your daughters doing them because she would not think of you as her hero. She would, like, I up until me being a grown adult, up until my dad passed away, there's a lot of shit my dad didn't know, baby. Even though I was grown and could do what I want, children and all, husband and all, my dad never knew about me doing anything on the internet. I would have never told him. Not because, yeah, because my dad, I know he wouldn't have liked that shit. So I didn't tell him. But I am grown adult and I can do what I want. So out of respect, right? For him, yeah, I just didn't tell him. If he would have stumbled on that shit on his own on the internet, I would have been embarrassed. And I'm gonna be honest, I probably would have stopped. Okay. My dad would have, if I would have saw the expression on his face, the disappointment on his face, that would have been enough for me to stop doing whatever I was doing. That's how much I love and respect that man. If my husband came and said, look, I don't want you doing that no more, boom, it would have been over. That's how much I love and respect him. I told y'all the story when my son, my youngest son, said, I gave them the option. I let them know what's going on. I know, they always knew what was happening. Hey, if you were against this, if you think it's going to affect you, then mommy would stop. And my oldest son had no problem with it. My youngest son, when he started going to high school, I had the conversation with him, and he had a problem with it. And I stopped. That's right. I stopped. You're not gonna find no new video and certain things of me doing certain things ever again after that. This nigga here will never be able to convince his daughter of anything again. He has lost all respect. Where she thought he used to have a cape, this nigga used to have what she thought was a cape. Now this nigga is a pussy. And that's on him. Okay? That's all on him. And now we see how this happens, how some of these men are complaining because even their daughters don't look up to him. I heard one dude, he called his own daughter a thought. And then every once in a while, he'll accidentally kind of let you know where his relationship is with his daughters. And he's shocked. You shocked? You mean to tell? If my dad would have called me a thought, that would have hurt my fucking feelings. Even if I was acting thottish. If my dad had said that, I would have been hurt to my fucking core. But see, these niggas get on YouTube and then they start using their voice with these brothers. Then they start using that same fucking internet voice with their families and the household. And they think that shit gonna work. I talk to you all one way, and when I'm talking to my husband, I know damn well y'all can see the tone in my voice changes. I could be talking to my husband, my voice changed. I talk to my grandson, my voice changed. I talk to my sons, everything about that changes. These niggas that got some power on the internet and they think that shit reverts to their shit offline. They get powerful on here because they got enough niggas listening to them. None of them correcting them. Some of y'all are dick sucking ass bitches. Y'all be with these men, you know they telling lies or half truths. And instead of you calling out, you just be sucking his dick. Yeah, you're right. You start licking on his balls, by telling him he's right and keep preaching, brother. Keep preaching. Yeah, you're right. Nigga, what is you doing? You over there sucking on this nigga's dick? You done put your tongue all in his ass. Because you know goddamn well he not being honest. I'm one of the realest bitches you gonna come across. There's a few of us on here. We gonna tell you the truth. You will listen to me when I talk about how my marriage was in the beginning, in the middle, and towards where we at now. If it ends, if some shit pop off where it ends, y'all will know. I'll be on this bitch crying. Okay, telling y'all what I did wrong, or what I think I did wrong, or maybe what the fuck he did wrong. I'm open. There's just some things I won't say. I don't talk about my children much at all. Right? I give you just little basics because they're grown men. They have their own lives, and what they're doing and not doing ain't y'all business. And they talk to me about it. Mom, stop talking about me on the internet. Okay? They were like, look, I don't talk. Mom, I don't want to be seen on the internet. I got one son who don't give a fuck. The other one, y'all don't even know really what he look like for real, for real. Okay? Anyway, let me come and see what y'all talking about while we look at this one more time. And then I'm going to end this since nobody coming up. mm, mm, mm. What you say? Okay. Ah, man, I can't. I don't even. It's just ridiculous. So, Mark Anthony, let me see what KD said, because Mark Anthony said, let's see, KD said, Mark Anthony, you kill a black person, you might get 10 years in prison. Kill a white cop. Oh yeah, you if you kill a cop, a white cop especially, that's life. That's electric chair in most cases, right? Let's see, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. Here we go. I have come to bury Caesar's, not to praise him. There you go. Anyway, all your shit on video. That's right, all my shit on video. Go and pull that shit up, bitch. All my shit on video. If we was anywhere except YouTube, bitch, I will show you some videos. What you think I'm scared, worried? What you think? My shit is on video. You know where it's not though? You know where it's not? Go and search it. You can't find it nowhere, bitch. You was a dumb bitch. You're not gonna find it on Pornhub. You're not gonna find it on none of these motherfucking sites, ho. And anything you find on me on those are people who watch me, pay for me, and they put little clips up. And you don't see me doing too much of none or nothing. What the fuck you talking about? But anytime you want a private show, you holler at your girl. It's only gonna cost. Listen, if you want to see me in video, it's only gonna cost you $59.95 plus shipping and handling, ho. My shit's still for sale. Okay? That's right. I know you want a pair of my underwear, and I'm gonna give you a deal for today only. Just you, Linda. Just you. If you want a pair of my lace pennies, ho, okay? They will cost you $35.95. Okay? And if you listen, but if they for your husband, listen, I know you want to buy a pair for your husband. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I will embroider your name in my pennies, but send them to him. Make it seem like they came from you, but it's gonna cost you $69.69. Ho, okay? Because I know you was hoping to have a 69, you know, situation with me. I know you looking to lick on me, bitch, and you want me to lick you back, but you got me all the way fucked up, ho. I don't lick women, okay? I don't lick women, but I'm quite good at it when it's men, bitch. And if you want to see anything about that, bitch, I got several videos that prove that. And those will cost you also $59.95 plus shipping and handling, ho. You might learn how to really keep a man and you keep fucking around with me in my videos, ho. You understand what I'm saying? My videos will not only turn your man on to where he might want to roll over and fuck you, but it'll also educate you on how to keep that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Now, see, I don't get on YouTube and tell y'all my specialty. Just know this. Mother, many women have purchased my shit just to learn certain things. And nobody has ever complained about the lessons that I have taught. So if you need some help, bitch, holla at your girl, okay? Email me at bombcherrylive@gmail.com. Also, you could cash app me, bitch, at $bomb cherry juice. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Now, I never hidden anything about who I am because my name has always been Bomb Cherry or Bomb Cherry Juice, and I use that name here. Just go search me, bitch. Just do the search. Okay? Now, let me see. Keep it 100 said somebody's in Bahamas. I don't know who. That bitch stay up there until the dog got in the house. I know. DOD. That nigga was up there. See, I can't see a DOD doing that. I'm going to keep it 100. You men who are Mark Anthony, some of y'all, we might disagree in certain things, right? I just can't even imagine. I can't imagine y'all doing that shit. Like it's up until watching this video, I would never, I would have never watched this shit. I could put him in the bed with hey Uncle Sid, how you doing? How you doing over there? Uh Third World Columbia, how you doing? He look, Third World said that woman in that video was thick as shit. I knew the men was gonna mention it. They gonna call her fat though. They gonna call it fat. Okay. That's what they gonna do. Let me see. Ah, y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Linda, oh, you want me to drop the link? Okay. I'm sorry about that. I didn't see it. I'm rolling up and scrolling up the comments now. Okay, so I'm not against my brothers. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. The ladies have, trust me, the ladies has tried to say, Bomb, they shake me and say, Bomb, no, all these men are not the same. I'm like, I know all of them not the same, but for the most part, my brothers are my brothers. My brothers, they supposed to be their brothers keepers, and they supposed to be they supposed to have this courage about them, this stance about them, where we want them to lead. And see, that's the thing. We got a lot of men who do lead their households. You know what I mean? And when I say lead, though, it's not what these other dudes are talking about. These game changers, these niggas who ain't never been in any relationship. You know what I'm saying? Um, when they think about leading, that's how a nigga will end up getting with a woman who's into BDSM and end up being accused of of abuse. You see that? This shit is not to be played with. These niggas, some of these niggas are playing dangerous games. Just because I may claim I'm a submissive woman, you know, who like to be choked and shit. Nigga, there's a technique to this shit. You need to know the rules and regulations. These niggas started talking, faking like they in the lifestyle. They meet a woman and then they don't even know what the fuck they doing. You ain't got to lie, nigga. Inform a woman that you're interested in learning about it and let her take you in places where you can educate yourself. But see, these niggas think they ain't got to learn shit from nobody. They think they put their mind to it, they could just do it. Oh, if I put my mind to it, I could just do it. You want to be a doctor? Don't go to school. Just put your mind to it and just do it. You want to be a drug dealer? Don't just do it. You know, don't learn anything about it from other dudes. Just put your mind to it and just do it. That's why you end up in jail, you dumbass. Right? Want to be a dentist? Well, since you got teeth, nigga said I was born. I ended up getting my teeth ever since I was 2 years old. Bomb. I don't need to go to school to learn how to pull them out. I put my mind to it, and I can just do it. These niggas, woo, these niggas are crazy, baby. Why y'all talking about this? Well, the BDSM thing. Why you call it crap, babe? It's just another form of sexuality, sex. That's all. We started talking about that earlier, uh, in the last stream, and there's a lot of women who are into it as well as a lot of men. Okay, and so I think these things should be talked about in our community. It's the only way we'll know about it. That's the only way we can, figure out if we want to be a part of that or not. It's that we talk about it. Okay. uh, but I'm serious though. When we gonna have on a baby? Yeah. Third wall ready to go half on a baby, baby. That's right. I'm gonna be a guard. You gonna make me godmother? Yes. Listen, I'm over here embroidering shit. I'm gonna be sending y'all all kinds of embroidery shit for the baby and shit. Y'all just let me know, okay? Keep me informed on all the Viper Pit babies. See, we're gonna end up with some Viper Pit babies because of this goddamn coronavirus. Some of y'all gonna y'all can't get out your house to really meet anybody new, so y'all gonna end up meeting each other on the internet. Yep, y'all gonna go in the DM. While you in the DM, he gonna drop some dick. We gonna end up with a lot of virtual babies. Yes, we are. Okay. Oh man, we're just having fun, y'all. Just having fun. For those who are new to the area, we're just joking. Bomb, your show tonight is a stand-up. Y'all know we over here just having fun. You know, I try to take something serious and throw in some laughter, throw in some jokes. You know, kind of. I have a message in in everything I do. Even when we over here roasting, the one that comes out of this video tonight for me is that I'm so disappointed in some of these black men, right? I'm disappointed in that the fact that they don't think they need any leaders, they don't need any elder men who will help them. um I'm disappointed in the fact that they they listen. Let's share a video. Fuck it. Let's share a video. Let me see. I'm gonna have to connect. I'm gonna have to connect my Bluetooth because I'm not sure if y'all gonna be able to listen to it. Let's see. Let me find the file. Give me a second. Was y'all able to hear clearly when I was playing this video? Because I need to know that, or I'm gonna have to connect to Bluetooth. I want y'all to hear something that these men didn't recognize, right? Um, we played it last night. Miss Olivia played it last night. I ended up downloading that shit. Now I didn't know this shit had taken place. Okay, I did not know. So therefore, because I did not know, we would have talked about this shit a while back. Okay, here we go. I think he came on. Boom, boom, boom. Right. They didn't talk to him till he got right here. Okay, so he asked them what tricking meant. Okay, and they explained to him what tricking meant. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Y'all heard this? So they talking about tricking, which these niggas are dumb. He's talking about a video game. They didn't even pick up on that, right? He is playing with them. He is playing. He's talking about what's the name of that Grand Theft Auto, right? That's what this he. But wait a minute. He said trick bonus. Y'all see that? He playing with them, and they like instead of insulting them or being like, "Oh, dude, you don't belong in this place," or anything, they don't care. But wait a minute. He said, other than that, bruh, what do you? What's your take on a bunch of black guys coming together talking about black guys stuff? And the first thing came out of his mouth is he think it's hilarious. And y'all need to take heed to what he said. He thinks it's hilarious, and it is hilarious, especially the bullshit that be coming out of y'all mouth. The shit is funny, and that's what he just told you. But y'all didn't pick up on that. Let's rewind a little bit and let's continue. Okay, y'all saying y'all can't hear. Okay, let me switch it up a little bit. Uh, okay. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, is all my shit dead? Everything's dead. God damn. Okay, let me iPad charge up a little bit. Even my phone is dead. That's crazy. Can't be up here too late tonight. It's late. Okay. It's 10 o'clock, huh? Yeah, I probably go another half hour. Let the iPad get a little charge on it, and then I'm gonna connect it to the speaker. Okay. Y'all have to hear this shit, okay? Because this shit is hilarious. And so they were talking about tricking. He came up, he asked about, he wanted to know what tricking was. And then even after they told him what it meant, he kind of threw like a little joke. Like they didn't get it. They don't even understand when they're being trolled, because if that had been a black woman, they would have called her stupid and all kinds of names, you see. They would have had a lot of comeback if it was a woman, a black woman. Now, if it would have been Jessica X, she could come up and ask whatever the fuck she want. It could be dumb as fuck. As she says that in her area, there's not much different in the areas. We're all the same. Bitch, get the whole. Y'all know she's stupid when she said that. Okay, the cultures are different. Everything about what's going on over there is different than what's going on over here, especially in the black America. Okay, even in white America, even in the whiteness. White people in Europe are completely different than what's going on here in America. Basic shit like the commercials, the rules, the regulations of the FCC versus what they got going on over there. It's too much differences. And this bitch want to come and convince us that everything is the same. The iPad's coming on now, y'all. So give me a second. Oh, wait. What am I have to do? Because the video is actually on my computer. Let me think. Um, okay, I'm gonna try this way. I might have to hook a speaker up. My my Yeti is over there. Let me hook that up. Give me a second. Let's put the Yeti here. Gotta hook that up. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. Let me connect the Yeti. Let's see. Come on, get bigger. What's going on? Come on, close you up. Close you up. Oh, that's because I'm already here. We changed the speaker. Yep, and a microphone. Though I need to change that as well. Come on, goddammit. Where you at? Nope, not you. And the microphone will be my Yeti. Mic on. Let's see. I think the mic is on now. Am I loud enough? Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Let me make sure. I'm going to come and listen myself. Okay. Okay, cool. I can hear myself. And let me see what y'all see. Let me put this up. Let me see if I'm gonna be able to see that. And I have the speakers plugged, and let's try it, okay? My mic sound nice, check one. My mic sound nice, check two. My mic sound nice, check three. Are you ready? No, some of y'all don't know what song that is. But anyway, here we go. Let's see. Boom. Let's hit the play if I can get it. Come on, let me get the play. There we go. Oh, why you not playing? Give me a second. Okay, let me go. Gotta turn it up.
Arts and tricking, man. Tricking is just pretty much like somebody that uses the services of a male, female, excuse me, a female, what they call them, sex prostitute. No. Wait, you gotta use a technical term, brother. What do you call it? Sex. No, they're sex workers now. Respect them. How they keep the sex workers employed, brother. That's what tricking is.
Yeah, I thought so because I had GTA San Andreas, and you can do it in that game. You can because you got a trick multiplier, trick bonus,
Trick multiplier.
You had to drive the chicks around and stuff.
Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. But anyway, other than that, man,
we're making sure.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. But anyway, other than that, what's up, man? What's your take on a whole bunch of black guys, talking about black guy stuff?
I think it's hilarious. I always like channels like this. I actually had a weird question. It comes from like personal experience. Why is it that I have a lot of experience with white women. Now, every time I've been involved with like a black woman, they like to be like, I don't know, like compared to the white chicks, they like you if you talk to them like shit. I don't understand.
The black women that you've been with?
Yeah, like the way that I treat them is way different.
Tell your truth, Andrew.
Wait. Hold on, brother Andrew. Now, if you have the time. So just round. So do you target black women, or you just take them if they come? All right, cool. So you just if they throwing it to you like motherfucking Tom Brady, you just gonna catch it, right?
Yeah, it's like whatever happens.
All right, cool. So, how about we do this, man? If you got a chance, how about we do a topic just on that?
Okay, let's slow down. This man told them that he thought it was hilarious. Oh wait, I forgot I got to talk in this speaker. Sorry about that. This man admitted that he thought that black men talking with black men about black things, not all of them, he talking about them, right? He said he thought it was hilarious. Now, the first thing came out of his mouth after that, he mentioned that he has a lot of experience with white women. These men didn't even catch that. He said he had a lot of experience with white women, but then he tried to rephrase it so he could bring in the black women situation. So he then says when he dates black women, he has a lot of, he says he had a lot of experience with white women. Then he mentioned dating black women. Why do they like to compare themselves to white women? And these niggas didn't even pay attention to what he was saying. So they then said, wait a minute. They want to set up a goddamn chat session with him just because he's a white man who has been with a black woman. What's wrong with that? Most of you men have been with white women or women of other races. Why? As soon as they heard of a white man who had slept with a black woman, instead of them asking him, well, do you find him appealing? Like, or why would you even be with him if you don't, or anything like that? They don't care about that. They then start saying, oh, not the black woman who's very supportive of black men, who's very loyal. What the fuck does being loyal to a nigga we don't know? What the heck? I don't even get it. These niggas are lame, yo. But they were so excited. Let's listen to the excitement of them even having a man up who they thought was going to rip into black women. Listen to this.
Because, it's often said that, black men have this crazy obsession with white women. We often try to, get away from that because that's really not true. But the obsession that black women have with white men never ever gets touched over here. I don't know. Did you already do this convo with Tommy already? I don't know.
No, I haven't. But Tommy said something the other day, and it is true. Like if you're a white guy, you can have like 1,000 black girls.
Okay, no, I'm not understanding that, man. Because how are you able to bag one of the most loyal women on the face of the planet?
That's Mr. Coon. That's why they call you Mr. Coon, you coonish ass nigga. Ooh, I don't understand that. How could you bag, the word bag, that in itself tells you these men are disgusting, stupid as fuck. How you able to bag one of the most loyal women? What the fuck that mean, dude? Unless that's your woman who you expect loyalty from, then what are you talking about? That and what are they talking about? They know there's divested black women here on YouTube. So you already know that's women who just gotten away from these black men. In particular, these niggas. Okay? Which I'm quite sure white women, that's why listen, if these niggas had white women, somebody who really love and appreciate them, they wouldn't be on YouTube as much. Some of these niggas I see damn here every day. The Game Changers, that nigga smell like pussy through the goddamn screen. I could tell that nigga is a whole pussy, and never really had pussy unless he paid somebody some money. Okay. Then we got BMT. I don't know much about him, but you know what I'm saying? I'ma just say, let's go just to call me Mr. Coon. Nigga, he got called Coon so much, the nigga just changed his name to call me Mr. Coon. Let's let this white man do his thing, though. Let him do his thing. Because listen to him is important what you're about to hear him say.
They say, get out here. They got the troll. Well, Andrew, let's do this, man. You just brought something to my attention, man, that definitely needs to be covered. So, what's your schedule looking like, man, during the week? Like, I mean, I guess, like, you know, what I mean, are you here? You're here now. Like, are you available during the daytime?
Yeah.
All right. So, what's a good day for you for the rest of the week for us to set up an interview on your experience with black women?
They want to interview this white man on his experience with black women because they think he gonna have something negative to say, and that's based on what he said so far. They ignored all the other nonsense. Okay, now let's go back to he's gonna leave because they're gonna set up some shit. I ain't got time to be listening to that shit. He comes back on. He sits there patiently. It looks like he's talking right about here. Let me check. Come on, stop moving.
I heard Game Changer say something, and instead of doing it on Thursday, we might as well just do a little bit right now. Game Changer said it's easy for people with triple-digit IQs to get women. Okay, he said that. He said it's a lot easier. Does anyone here know how many black men have an IQ over 100?
Oh my God, this shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let me 16%. 16%.
Okay, let's do it. Hold on, wait.
How many? Hold on, let me finish. I didn't even know.
Let him have his opinion, bro. No, this is not an opinion. He's saying things as if they're fact.
I mean, I have a study up. Here.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you quoted me. I didn't say that it's easy for people with triple-digit IQs to get.
You said it would be a lot easier.
Come on, I like where it's going. Come on, bro. Let him talk. Wait. No, not yet. Wait, Andrew, hold on. Wait, yo, for one, man, if I fucking say something, man, everybody, please shut the fuck up. I didn't even hear what the fuck he said. I didn't hear if he said 16 or 16. So, all right, what do you say? 16% or 60%?
16%. You know how many whites have it? 50. Okay, you go along with that. I'm just saying it's not out of this realm. And whenever I said 1,000, that's obviously hyperbole. You know, like I'm not up in here like Genghis Khan and whatnot. I'm just saying that, and I just said I'll send it to the other thing too, the other chat. Sorry. Hold on. This is great.
Y'all notice these niggas are silent. They're trying to figure out how they gonna come back, because they realized that what they thought he was going to say, that he done switched it up. And they looking. And they trying to figure it out. Okay? Here we go. Let's continue on, shall we?
It's 30 years of compilation of IQ research. This has been demonstrated over 70 years. Okay, and are we going to say that black women aren't attracted to intelligence? They definitely are. Okay, I think it's pretty reasonable what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, clarify your point.
His point is apparently just based. I haven't even listened to the streaming, and based on what he just said, I can tell that they was probably had some say about black women not wanting to be with white men. You know what I mean? Just based on this, somebody was saying that they don't, because they already know there's a lot of black women. There's a lot of black women who don't care about the race of a man. If he's nice, he treats her well, he's this, that, and the third, whatever she requires of a man, she's okay with it. Right? This is 2020. This is not the 60s, the 70s, the 50s. This is 2020. We have come a long way. Okay. But these niggas, Lord have mercy. First of all, by them even allowing this white man up there, he already he told them off as soon as he came up. He said it was hilarious at what they were doing, probably because of what they were saying and talking about. Okay, but let's listen to how they're gonna respond. They silent right now. Cat got their tongue. Yeah, cat got their tongue.
I'm saying that it's a lot easier for intelligent men to get any women at all, of any race.
You say
Of
it's
any race.
easier or it's not easier?
It is easier.
Oh, it is, okay. It's easier.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
So Andrew, just to be clear, you're saying that white people are on average more intelligent than black people, right?
Yes, sir.
What he's doing about the conflation of statistics of population, like 70%.
Hold on.
Some dumbass just said, well, that's based on the population. No, dude, they doing percentages. So I'm not saying that what he's saying is factual. Please don't let me, because I would have known how to shut him down. I would have known exactly what to say. None of these niggas knew what to say though. Okay. None of these niggas, they trying to search, they throwing shit at the wall to try to make some sense. Okay.
White dudes always do this shit.
Yeah, I know. Bro,
And I get with it for trying to stop it.
You see, because I need to hear what the fuck he said, bro. Like, don't fucking, you know what I mean?
He just said it.
Okay, well, he did. I didn't fucking hear him. Chill out, bro. God damn. Now let me have the shit. Now, Dirt. Listen, bro. Again, what's the data point of that study? How many?
I just sent it in.
Is it a blind study? How many people were surveyed?
This is a study over 30 years, and this has been repeated over 70 years. Okay, and there have been gaps made. There's black people in America have obviously gotten better than, if you look at the average intelligence of a black man in Africa, it's 65. That's retarded. It's below retarded. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just telling facts. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It sounds like he basically called them retarded. Let's get back to it. Let's see. Okay. And somebody just told me something I didn't know. The name that he's using is of a white basketball player married to a black woman. See, that's what I'm saying. Listen, we got a lot of white men who love black women. Him sitting amongst these black men who despise black women in itself means he was there to fuck with them. But they never saw it coming. They still think that they was proving their point some kind of way. They got slammed all kinds of ways. These niggas are losers, yo.
Study over 30 years, and this has been repeated over 70 years. Okay, and there have been gaps made. There's black people in America have obviously gotten better than, if you look at the average intelligence of a black man in Africa, it's 65. That's retarded. Retarded. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just telling facts. Okay.
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
Yes.
Okay, so you do understand a lot. Some of those questions are cultural questions that you.
No, they're not. No, they're
yes,
not.
they are.
No, they're not.
Several.
No,
Yes,
they're
they
not.
are.
Don't you lie.
Yes, they are.
Don't abstraction.
That white man said, no, they're not. Don't you lie. Don't you lie.
Stop the emotion for a second. Stop the emotion for a second.
Yeah, no.
Stop the emotion for a second.
You know that?
Hold on. You doing the same shit that everybody else doing. I say something that triggers you, and you lose your fucking mind. So, when I say some of the questions are cultural, let's just talk about like language portion. Like when you have to rearrange letters in words to form different words that aren't even part of your fucking culture. Those are
That's not on the IQ test, by the way. He's talking about that test they give us in school, in high school. What's the name of that test, y'all? The SATs and shit. This nigga dumb as fuck, yo. I'm sorry. Hey, brass man. How you doing, my brother? Anybody who came in and I didn't say hi to you, I apologize. How y'all doing? I hope y'all having a great night. Woo, Lord, these niggas is dumb, y'all.
question.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, repeat what I just said.
Have you taken an IQ test? That's
I
not
just
what's
said I
on an
did.
IQ
I'm
test.
gonna
That
repeat
is
what I
not
just
on an
said.
IQ test.
You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
what's on
When
one.
people get triggered,
Not what's on
what
one.
did I say earlier? When people
You
get
said
triggered,
it
they
has
can't talk about
to do with
shit.
language. It has
You
nothing
hear what
to
he's
do with
saying, right?
language.
He's
It has
triggered.
nothing to do with language.
You say something, when you say some shit that's objective and it confronts them, they fucking snap. You know, we had a conversation now, bro.
Catering to culture. I agree with you. And what we're not saying that Dirk is right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Dirk is over there playing with these men and he outwitted them. Dirk is over there. These are the men who are against black women saying the bullshit that they say. These men themselves has used studies like these to attack black women. We all know that, right? They'll use the same exact study that Dirk is using, but instead of saying that is black men and white men, they'll say, well, white people are smarter than black women. That's what they've done. We've all heard them do this shit. A white man come, just like we all knew that would happen, could happen, right? Is that a white person could be sitting in the midst of them and do the same thing that they're doing towards black women. He himself can use studies to shoot them down. Right now, they're in the hot seat and they don't even know how to get out of it. Okay?
Wait.
I'm not wrong.
He's not wrong. Wait. John, wait. Andrew, he's not wrong because again, you're not understanding. If you give a person the same IQ test to a person from Africa that you get a person, an IQ test written in English.
Now listen to what this nigga saying. So he's saying if the IQ test from US written in English to an African, that they will fail. But that's not how anybody's tested, right? They wouldn't give an African person who can't read English or don't know English well enough, they wouldn't give them that test and expect them to pass. Even though they would give them the test to see what the results are, they would then do the reverse, right? They would give whatever test they have for the African, they would give it to them and also to the people in America, let's say. And then they would view those. That's how scientists is done, right? Science is done. That's how this shit works. If they did that, I'm not saying they do that, right? But what he's saying is that the test that they gave to black people was the one from America. That could have been true. But this is what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is that these men have used these same standards, these same test results against black women. If he had came up here and said that shit about black women, they wouldn't have nothing to say. They would agree 100% to what he's saying. And if we as black women were saying, well, wait a minute, that's because this, that, and the third, they would have been like, nah, Bob, but that don't make sense because the results are still there, right? And if the results say it, then it says it, right? And you got to believe it. And y'all don't want to believe facts. And this man is saying right now he could point out this study with these numbers. So why these niggas won't accept it? They want us to accept it. Why they won't? And that's the point.
by American people, and you're trying to get a person from Africa that's never had any basis of American talk knowledge to complete an IQ test, you're going to fail, bro.
Fantastic. Wait a minute.
Can I
Why
please
did the
respond?
Chinese people come to
Please
America?
respond.
They said,
Can I please respond?
Wait, yeah. Give me a second. Let me go all the way through it. I'm gonna shoot it to you. Listen, it's just like again, language is the fundamental basis of any IQ test. If you give me a fucking
No, it's
IQ,
not.
That's right. No, it's not. Okay. IQ test has nothing to do with none of that. Now we got to understand SAT tests and all these other tests they give us through school. Yes. But the IQ test is something, is more patterns, right? We understand patterns. A pattern is something that we learn. We learn without even somebody sitting down and teaching it to us. We learn patterns in music. That's how I teach my grandson patterns. If y'all ever notice, I love playing music with him, and I'm teaching him a pattern within the song. We as Black people, we love music. Well, most of us love music, whatever type of music. But there's a pattern to the music. Even without the lyrics, there's a pattern there. There's a pattern even with the lyrics, right? It could be a different type of pattern, but there's patterns to pretty much everything. And if you recognize them and know how to put that into your everyday life, that's when your IQ is how should I say it? That's how they measure our IQ, based on getting some information and being able to take that information and work with it in other areas, right? They might give you a red ball, blue ball, and a yellow ball. Then there's another red ball, blue ball, yellow ball. And then they might have a ball that's blank, then the red, like that. And they ask you, what's the next color ball, right? That's simple. That's the simplest, the smallest example. And then they tell you, based on this pattern, you hear this beat, and this beat, right? And and that's what the IQ test. And you can learn shit way before you even start going to school. We learn about these patterns in our everyday lives, especially babies. Okay? Especially babies. Babies pick up on that shit. My grandson can sit there, I tell him, okay, the beat is about to drop. The beat is about to drop. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Hatish, how you doing, baby?
the Chinese come over and ace their IQ test, though.
Right.
That's one thing that's a fact, though. I just had to cut in there.
Hold on, but this is still what I'm saying. Those are people that still been taught on the American
No, they
aspect.
haven't.
No, they've come over. That's why. That's why.
Listen, let me just lay this out really quickly, please. Okay, what happens in IQ tests? You'll see a bunch of patterns. It'll be a bunch of shapes, and it'll say what's the next likely shape that's going to appear after this. So it'll show 5 different shapes, and it'll say what's the most likely shape. It has nothing to do with language.
Hell yeah. Somebody put the link in the room. You could come up and explain, because I did see what you said yesterday, that you used to work by giving people tests, or I'm not sure what that meant, but yeah, you can give it. But I just want to say also, a lot of these men are acting like they've taken the IQ test, and they haven't. You might, in my state, when I was a little girl, they did issue out IQ tests, but they would to you when you were young, right? They determining can you even understand this shit even before they start teaching you about patterns on that level. And that's how they're able to tell if a kid is intelligent enough to pick up on things, right? Most intelligent, and when I say intelligent, high IQ people, right? They, from when they were young, they was picking up on things early, which is an indication that they would only get better as they start becoming educated. But they do not give an IQ test, not a free one, to adults. They don't. Why would they care? By the time you are a certain age, let's say high school, you have already learned whatever it is that they wanted you to learn. Maybe not, right? They're not giving you an IQ test. You too old. They don't give. By now, you could be book smart and still have a low IQ score, right? That's what they determine people who are book smart. That means you have a good memory. I have a bad memory, right? Terrible memory. Terrible fucking memory. So in school, when it comes to that type of shit, I was not what you would consider book smart. But I do have a high IQ score. And though I wouldn't brag about that shit. Why? Because I was like in first fucking grade. I was in first grade. I was in fucking first grade, yo. Okay. Anyway, so no, everybody hasn't taken IQ tests. Um, and most of these people who may have, they were young. So they lying. These niggas lying.
Please let me
It's a
finish.
tight. Hold on, wait.
I get it. It's straight. But
It has nothing to do with language.
No,
Can I ask the question?
That's part of it. Language is part of it.
May I ask a question, please?
Yes, sir.
No, hold on. My question.
Okay.
My question
Wait,
is-
right quick.
No, hold on, because Ms. Spencer cut me off. Andrew, so just to be clear, you're saying that white people are more intelligent than black people, correct?
Yes, and Asians are more intelligent than whites, and Jews
Okay,
are more
okay,
intelligent
thank you.
than Asian.
Okay, thank you. So, question- you gonna do John Coffee like that?
That's a pussy, man. James changes. He don't raise his voice. He's very condescending though, and dumb as fuck. Okay, dumb as fuck. I don't know if anybody have the link in the room. Let me see. Okay, let me put the link in the room while we continue to listen to this shit.
Yeah. So, how did we get on the topic of intelligence between races?
You're the one that brought it up. You said it was easy for triple-digit people to get.
I most certainly did not.
Do you want me to find it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
While you're doing that, we could continue with the conversation we were having.
Okay.
So, Platinum, when you make up the blanket argument about Pookie and Ray Ray and then say educated lames are complaining,
I agree with Queen. Queen said there's more advanced tests. The advanced test will be for the adults, and then now we're talking about, yeah, it will be highly more advanced, but it will not be what these men are talking about. It would not be about language, right? They think that it's gonna ask you, like when they say, here's the cup, a saucer, and a spoon, right? And a few other things. And they want you to put these things together, the matching things. A lot of black people don't know what a cup is, especially these younger generation. Y'all don't know what a cup is. So our kids will score less. But see, that's not a IQ test though. That's that SAT and these other different tests they putting out. And they claim they're giving us these tests in order to see what we have learned. But that would be culture, right? Because the reason why black people don't know what a cup is, because probably since my grandmother's time, not many of us have used a cup, if that makes sense. We would confuse a plastic cup or these cups from McDonald's, or we confuse that with being a cup. And if that's not the picture, then you wouldn't choose right. A cup has to do with a saucer. How many of y'all know what a saucer is? Right? That's the thing that goes under the cup. Right? But we don't drink tea anymore and do things like that anymore. So you wouldn't know. So yes, that's when, but that is not that's not a part of the IQ test, because that is about culture. That's something you learn, culturally learn. Okay? And that's not on the IQ test. That's that. But if you take that fake IQ test on the internet, on Facebook, and they be like, test and see what your IQ is. And you go to hit it, and you go and answer all them goddamn simple, basic children questions. That shit'll be funny, baby. That shit is funny. Okay, we got somebody coming in. Hey, how you doing? Oh, his sound hasn't connected yet, so let's give him a moment. Man, Chocolate men, I just love chocolate men. Good God, have mercy. Have mercy on my soul. How you doing?
How you doing, sister? How you doing? It's D. Durrell.
D. Darrell, goddamn, you's a chocolate brother. Lord have mercy. I love chocolate, baby. I love chocolate. So tell me, it looks like you know what you're talking about. So we're gonna let you take over. There you go, baby.
Okay, so basically, when we're looking at intelligence tests, number one, the test that they list, which was the Mensa test, is not even top 5 or top 10 as far as the top tests that are used for intelligence tests. I have implemented as a professional therapist, as a professional licensed professional therapist since 2000. I want to say since 2008, I've implemented at least over 100 intelligence tests to children and adults, primarily in the educational system. I've also done it for people who were looking to apply for Social Security disability benefits. And also I've done it in the private sector, working under the tutelage of a clinical psychologist. And so when in this particular situation, this guy came across what basically nobody really knew what they was talking about, to be honest with you. Even though the guy said that he listed one study. And so what this shows is that, and this is how I took it, because as I went across the manosphere and so forth, and I do manosphere content, I do stuff in regards to trying to bring balance in regards to a lot of this BS that a lot of these guys talk about. I try to talk about the fact of in regards to my clinical experience giving rise to the flawed ideology that these guys follow. And so when you look at what this white guy did, what he did was he took one study that talked about one small sample size. Okay, number one, and I tried to tell these guys, but they want to argue, fuss with me, saying I don't know what I'm talking about. My degrees don't need nothing. My licenses don't mean anything. He took that particular study, probably had a sample size of maybe about 500 to 1,000 people. So when he said 16%, he, without them using the intelligence they claim that they have, they should have known that he was basing it based on a limited sample size. 1,000 people, let's say out of that 1,000 people, you probably had maybe 80% white, maybe 15 to 20% black. So out of that 20, let's say if you had 1,000 people, 200 of them were black. So basically, he made a large, colossal mistake in regards to thinking that you can base and generalize out of 200 people that represents over 20 million black people in America. So when he talked about 16% of black males or black people, black men scoring over 100 on that particular test, what he was meaning was that out of that very low, very limited IQ test as far as the sample size, that out of 200 people, you probably had 16% that scored over 100, and 80 or more. And of the 800 that were white, I think he said it was like 80% or something like that. They scored over 100. The problem with that is that in any IQ test, number one, that is actually one of the least ones. If you're gonna do a IQ test on adults, the most reputable IQ test will be the Stanford-Binet, which is the original test that was created by which was created by Alfred Binet, and he did that when he was actually a French guy that actually created that test at Stanford University in California. That is actually the most credible IQ test there is for children and for adults. Then you also have the Woodcock Johnson, which is also an intelligence test that's also highly credible. And then you have the Wessler R. In one of the reasons I knew that these guys didn't take the test, because in taking the test, they told me that they went somewhere and they went on a computer and took a test. When you take a full battery, an IQ test is a full battery of testing. It can consist of the Wessler R. It can consist of the Stanford Bidet. It can consist of what is called the WAIS, the WIAS. That test takes at least 4 to 6 hours to take. And that test costs anywhere between $600 to $800 or more. So I knew they were lying. What they took was a generalized, simplified test that probably took somewhere before maybe an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours, that gave them some analysis of where their particular IQ is at. Now you must understand, when you're doing an IQ test, if you look at some of the comparative studies that have been done on IQ tests, you can take an IQ test more than one time and increase your score, which was never talked about. How do we know that the people who participated in the particular study didn't take that particular test in previous situations? The more times that you take an IQ test, usually you're going to increase in your score because of the exposure to the way the test is given. Another situation they didn't look at was that he didn't look at what is called the standard error of estimate. Just because you have an IQ test, okay, doesn't mean that IQ test is not without error. That IQ test, every IQ test, every research study that they claim that they read and so on and know how to analyze has a level of error. They never talked about the fact that there were limited conditions. They never talked about any mistakes or anything that was done in regards to the administration of the test. Okay? So what this guy did, he read one. Now, if this guy would have taken 3 to 5 more recent studies and came up with some comparative similarities, then even though it still would have been BS, his actual premise would have had more credence. But the bottom line is that he used one test to generalize, which is basically what white supremacists do. They take a situation that fits their narrative, and then they try to feed it to you to make you believe that you're less intelligent than them. Okay? So, to be honest with you, most of the people on there I have had beefs with, I've had issues with. If I would have came on, they wouldn't even allowed me to come on, even though I know I'm qualified to talk about this. I would have shut him down in 1 minute. It wouldn't have even lasted that long because he wouldn't have been able to even answer the questions because he don't know how to read research. And that was quite obvious.
Right. Okay.
So-
Hold up, my brother. I'm sorry.
go
Okay.
ahead.
So, I'm sorry. I just had to say this in the chat.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So do not time out people for personal reasons. Hatish got the right to say who he wants. Look like y'all fighting over a woman. Stop. Do not use your wrench in this area for no bullshit. That's all I'm gonna say. And we're gonna let this brother who's educating us all get back on it because I love educated brothers. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay. So when we're talking about a full battery test, the full battery test consists of the WAIS, another test called the WRAT, which is WART, and the Wessler, which is WISC. Those are the 3 acronyms. That test takes at least 4 to 6 hours to take. How I know? Because I've implemented over 100 of those tests, and it's long and very fucking tedious. Okay? And also with that, it takes another hour and a half to measure the scores, to interpret the score, and then to write up the goddamn report. I've worked under a psychologist for 5 years, assisting him in providing those particular services to help people get Social Security benefits. Also, you have to understand when they talk. Another mistake that they made was when he talked about the fact that I think he said a certain percentage of Black men scored under an 80% on the test. Okay, number one, that's a lie, because in assessing intelligence, if you score under 80%, that means that's classified as mental retardation. And there's no way in hell that the percentage that he listed they have that many Black people or Black men that have been diagnosed with mental retardation. Okay, what IQ was originally meant to measure was is intelligent quotient, which deals with mental age and mental quotient. Just because you may not be intelligent or have a certain level of intelligence at 6 years old doesn't mean that can through the proper education and proper intervention that by the age of 10 that your intelligence can increase substantially. Okay, what an intelligence test basically does is give an indicator of how you're able to adapt, how you're able to thrive, because that's what intelligence means. Intelligence means the ability to thrive and to function in an environment. Just because you may not be able to, because of a variety of different variables. A person could be mentally abused. They could be sexually abused. They could have been having a stressful week. There could have been a lot of secondary sources of sources of circumstances that could have contributed to why when they took that test that day, they did not score as high as they could have, pending that these particular variables did not exist.
Right. And
Okay?
you mentioned that the test is a long test. So
Yes.
you gotta sit that through that long period of time. Even I get like, God damn, let me just start marking some answers. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
The test is that test is long as hell because I administered and it was long. Matter of fact, of all the different things that I've done as a professional therapist, because part of our training is doing administering tests and appraisal of instruments, and part of that is doing intelligence tests. And there's another type of test that's not talked about. There's also what's called there are objective tests. And then there are tests such as the Wechsler M block, which is something that's based on interpretation, which I'm not qualified to actually implement because it's based on a lot of abstract things. Okay. So with that particular test, you need more training to do. That's the type of test where they give you the pictures, they give you things that are based on interpretation. An objective test is based more on question and answer. It may talk about things in sequence and so forth. But when you're looking at an intelligence test, what they're really looking at, because a lot of that certain sections are being timed. So what they're really looking at is how quickly you can respond to things. They're looking at your memory recall. They're looking at your ability to adapt. They're looking at your ability to problem solve. Okay. And based on cultural, because there's also cultural influences also. If you're not a person that is highly functional in a particular society, you're more likely not to score as high on that particular test. If you're in a culture in a certain environment where you're more highly functional, you're more likely to score higher. But that doesn't mean that there's not any exceptions to the rule. Now, another thing I would have brought up, okay, is the fact of because of it being different types of intelligence tests, there's also a test that a black guy by the name of a psychologist that created a black psychologist. He created a test, an intelligence test called the bitch test, BITCH. Okay, that particular test was an intelligence test that was created that's called the Black Intelligence Test of Cultural Homogeneity. When my brother, his name is Robert Williams, he created that in the early 70s. When he created that particular test, the research, which was actually created to measure the intelligence of Black people and Black people exclusively. We must understand when you look at the WISC, the RAF, the WAIS, or the Stanford Binet, the Woodcock, and other different intelligence tests, those tests were not meant for us. Those tests were meant to actually to basically test and evaluate the intelligence or the functionality of white people. Okay, so that they were basically that test was not intended for us. When my brother Robert Williams created this particular test in the early 70s, and he did a research study on it, in which he took 100 white people and 100 Black people. Okay, at a high school. He did I think it was kids in their late teens. found out that in that particular intelligence test that he created for black people, that was actually intended to basically assess primarily things that black people were dealing with within a cultural context. The results exemplified that the black people in that particular study overwhelmingly scored higher than the white people. So what that gave evidence to and gave rise is to the cultural, the underlying cultural bias in which these tests are created. These tests were not intended to measure how well a black person could function in American society. It was created to measure how well a white person functions in American society.
Right.
And with all of that being said, no one test truly measures intelligence, because although black people from a formal education standpoint were unable to function in certain educational institutions, or were prevented from reading and writing, can you explain how we were able to invent and create so many tools and so many technological advances that we enjoy today that was based on an informal education?
Right.
So that basically debunks that whole thing. This was, to be honest with you, the whole conversation was a very lightweight conversation in an academic arena. This guy would have got kicked out the class. He would have been debunked in 1 minute.
Right.
And it made them look very stupid, primarily the host, because he shouldn't have even allowed this to even have someone to come on there and even ask that in the first place. But that shows the lack of intelligentsia that is in this particular space, where people are reading stuff, they're regurgitating stuff, and they are not truly educating themselves. They're just following an echo chamber of people just repeating and regurgitating stuff just because somebody else said it, that tends to have a lot of views and subscribers.
Right.
So I just wanted to kind of talk about that, because it was, when I saw that, I was just like, wow, like this guy really came up there with one test to show that black women are more attracted to men with more intelligence. Therefore, they are more attracted to white men, because white men proved by this one test and that one small sample size proved to be more intelligent than black men. Well, then in reverse of that, if they would have used any type of intelligence or common sense, then I would say, well, can you in any way question the intelligence of white women who tend to have an underlying sexual urge to date and deal with black men and not choose their own men?
Right.
So what does that say about white women?
Exactly.
So there were so many holes in what he was saying. There was so many things that were false. The brother doesn't know how to read. He did not know how to read statistics. He didn't know how to read research.
Right.
He didn't talk about all the different things that contributed to that particular score. All he wanted to do was point out certain aspects of it that showed that, oh wow, black men are less intelligent than white men.
Right. They do the same thing with the government stats as far as crimes. Like even black people, we believe what they tell us, because when you go over there to the site, if you're just looking at the numbers, like you decide not to read, then they just show us numbers, and people are like, yeah, I went over there and it's true, Bob. I'm like, no, dude, if you read what it says, it breaks down. It tells us things like all the police stations not even required to report things.
True.
Right? It tells us that it's only crime that's reported. It's not just those that are found guilty or who so it tells, like, I try to explain to them, I could be accused of doing something. By the time they take me to the station, then they realize they made a mistake, but that number will still show.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, and black people, the men, especially those type of men, that's why it was disgusting what happened here, but it also proved the point, because if that white man had gotten up there to say that white women were smarter than black women, or white men were smarter than black women, anything dealing with black women in a negative way, they would have been laughing and happy about that.
Exactly. And that shows the level of ignorance that they have. And it shows and it exemplifies the level of ignorance that is pretty much paraded around the manosphere. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not seen upon as being a very positive person, because I challenge a lot of these irrational beliefs that have no no real meat to the basis of them thinking this way. This is just based on ideology that's based on irrational thought, traumatic events that have occurred that they haven't healed or gotten over. There are guys in here still at 40, 50 years old talking about stuff that happened to them at 16 and 17 years old. And so that shows the level of maturity that or let's say immaturity that they have, because they haven't worked on themselves for 30 plus 40 plus years, and you're still thinking in the mindset of a teenager that couldn't go on a date with the pretty girl that you felt that you deserved. And at this point in time in your life, you're still bitter about that. And so I was just perplexed at looking at it. The actual conversation was very elementary for me, and particularly with dealing with intelligence tests. Intelligence tests is also used again for measuring whether or not somebody has dyslexia, if they have a learning disability, if they have mental retardation, if a person is have dementia or something like that. You know, a lot of this stuff is implemented for children to determine whether or not they're going to be in special education or not. If you want to pay for an intelligence test, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you spending $600-800 plus depending on the psychologist. Now, I facilitated. I was actually getting paid $350 an hour working under a psychologist. I'm sorry, not 350. It was I basically got paid in blocks for the 4 hours that are 6 hours. I got paid a flat rate of $350 to implement a 4 to 6. Very few. It depends on the reactionary time of the test taker, but I very rarely went over maybe 5 hours or something. I may have went close to 6 hours depending on how slow the person was in answering questions and so forth. They're going to measure your mathematics, your writing skills, your reading skills. You're going to put things in order. There's all types of things you have to do. There's a matter of fact, when I used to go to the certain locations to do it, I had to carry a bookcase with me full of materials that I had several books that I had to open up and several different administrative tools that I had to use to implement and to administer an intelligence test. Some of the tests did not require the full battery, but some of them did, depending on the need and the necessity, depending on what you were attempting to measure. But I did this for over 5 years. I did other things too, other different types of tests, but primarily with intelligence tests for children and for adults. If you're doing a full battery test, that's 4 to 5 hours easily.
So it looks like I've taken a test as an adult. I just didn't know it was an IQ test. So when it was the Social Security that was making me take the test.
Yeah, you took a full battery test that consists of the RAT, WRAT, the WAIS, WAIS, and the Wessler. That's what you took that along with a what is it called? It's another little form that you take that kind of you took a mental. You start off with your mental status.
Right.
After you take the mental status, they implement the WIS, the WAIS, and then the RAF, the WIS, and then the WAIS is actually last. So yeah, you took a full battery test.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was I know I had to take a test and people pissing me off. But yeah.
So you actually took an intelligence test. If you are applying for Social Security, depending on what the reasons you are taking the test for and so on, based on your health care, your issues or whatever physical health issues, they may require you to also take an intelligence test, which can increase the likelihood of you actually being approved based on the results of the intelligence test.
Yeah. Okay. Now that makes sense. But these men, and and what's weird though, like a man like yourself, you get pushback from these type of men
Yes,
when
all
when
the
you
time.
can, yeah, when you can absolutely educate them, help them along, give them some necessary guidance, some things that they, but it seems like what he said in one of the videos was that the old niggas need to go their own way. Like like it's ridiculous. What do you think about that as a man with the education where you're willing to educate and help? You find yourself getting pushbacks by your own brothers. By what do you say to that? Or am I wrong? Do you feel what I'm saying is right?
I feel horrible about it. It's bad because it doesn't show that when you don't when you don't respect knowledge, particularly for those who have the proper training and track record. If you excuse that to hold fast to an ideology, see when they took it through the Mensa, that particular test. I mean, basically Mensa is an IQ society. Number one. And it can have their own little tests and so forth. But if you don't take the Stanford Binet or the Wessler, those are the most credible. It tells me, to me, be honest with you, I've sat on panels and argued with people all day long about certain things. A matter of fact, I was actually debating on. I don't know if you're familiar with the Prophet of Thought series, X. I used to. I'm part of a debate team. I've actually stopped debating. The last debate that I had on the Prophet of Thought series, and this is where a lot of guys in the manosphere that they go to look at people debate about a variety of issues. I debated a guy that had no business. I had no business debating him. The topic was um, black men should black men receive should married black men receive marriage therapy. And I said yes, black men should. The other guy said no, black people shouldn't. The black guy, the guy that I talked to was saying stuff about feminism, saying all kind of stuff about just all kind of rhetoric that goes in line with what they think. I'm trying to tell them the credible sources that show the effectiveness, the efficacy of marriage therapy, what it can do, the percentage of people who actually 80% of the people who seek marriage therapy actually improve and keep their marriages. It's not perfect. This guy was going by mere anecdotal experiences of him talking to several of his friends, saying the complaints that the guys supposedly had when they experienced when they went into marriage therapy. And marriage therapy is part of what I do. I do a lot of marital therapy. And so in that particular instance, and when in the debate, he told me my degrees don't mean anything, my licenses don't mean nothing. I can be a better therapist than you. And they had hundreds of people in the chat talking about, yeah, that's right. D. Durrell of Simp. So my thing is that I'm looking at these guys like, you got to be kidding me. And so at that point, I realized I'm wasting my time. And so I'm like, why am I? And even though I quote unquote lost the debate, all of the super chat money that was raised was questions given to me and not him, because they wanted to ask me questions about actually the concept of marital therapy and the process. But you're gonna vote for him to win, but you're super chatting to be educated by me on the whole process. That made literally no sense.
It makes no sense. It's like when we know that we are sitting in dysfunction, right? Our community. Even though I understand where it comes from, we still have to recognize and admit that we're sitting in it, right? When we have men and women who comes to say, "Hey, I'm here to help you get out of that," we have a group of people who will smack the hand away. And they'll, like I said, I've heard these men say, "We don't need your advice. Fuck your education."
Yeah.
Because although I'm not educated, I can do it better than you. And that is where their ego gets in the way.
It's education. But my thing is that there is different types. My thing is this: yes, a formal education is great. A person's experience is also great too.
Mhm.
And also the fact that if you are somebody that knows something, you should be open. And let's say I don't know something, but you know something, right? and I know that I don't know, but I know that you have some level of interaction. I think it would be intelligent to somewhat listen to somebody that has some exposure to that instead of discounting it just because of whatever reason. And so my thing is that I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been working in mental health for now over, I would say, 21 years. And this is the first time on the internet that I ever heard anybody mention the name Mensa Internet or the Mensa test, which only takes about 40, 50 minutes. That's how I knew that they didn't know what the hell they was talking about. In circles that I operate in, this test that organization and the test has never been brought up. Never. I'm talking zero, even though we know it exists, but nobody looks at this, even though it's one of the largest organizations and so forth in the realm of private delivery of mental health services and the educational, nobody talks about them. Maybe in colleges and universities where they because it is it's an international society, so to speak, organization. But when you look at the hallmark of any really reputable companies and different organizations that implement different tests, this company never comes up. Nobody, not in America, maybe internationally, but not here. I mean, so I'm just looking like, are you kidding me? Like,
and you could have been up there helping them, but they wouldn't even.
They wouldn't have. The host wouldn't have even allowed me because of he told me yesterday that I'm the worst debater. He told me about 2 days ago because of him falling in love with an avatar. He told me that I'm the worst debater. I'm dumb. I'm the worst explainer. This ain't for you. You need to go back and do what you do professionally. Okay, I'll take that.
You know what he's basically saying is, because you can't throw insults, you don't have to throw insults with your information, and they can start calling you stupid and saying you're lame while you're giving actual factual information that this is not for you, this YouTube shit. But I'm quite sure, I know I'm glad you're here to educate me, because there was a lot of things I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the actual argument itself was actually an argument in the circles of academia and in mental health. Nobody would even use that study. Mm-hmm. Or matter of fact, nobody would come to anybody based on one study alone. If you're going to have an argument on a basis of debate about something in regards to intelligence, you better come up with some sources. I'm talking 3 to 5 or more sources. You come in any situation with one damn study, they're going to laugh at you. You're going to get embarrassed. And and what he did, and see, this is the arrogance of white folks. This shows the arrogance of white folks. Because that's one of the reasons why I went into business for myself, because in business, there was a lot of things that were said in mental health in regards to trying to convince me to put kids in special ed, or say a child was mentally retarded, and they wasn't. But they couldn't counter me because I knew my shit.
Right.
And so I was at a point where I realized, okay, obviously you don't want to deal with me because I represent my people well with knowledge. And so I was not liked by a lot of white people. So I chose to go the route of, I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to do my own thing, because I'm not going to be fighting these folks all the time. And for people in our community that want my services will be open to them. And that's the route that I took.
And that's what we need, right? Because
yeah, exactly. And so and to be honest with you, particularly with my practice in Houston, most of my clientele in Houston is actually Black. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it, there are not a lot of Black therapists, particularly male Black therapists, is almost non-existent. And so forth. And so even though I do cater to everybody, particularly my private practice in Houston is mainly Black families. Right.
So would you say that, do you agree that we need it? And what is a way we can convince our people, especially the men, because women are starting to get the help, but the men to seek someone to talk to?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? I think you froze a little bit. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
can
can
you?
hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, what do you think we can do as a community to help men, even young men, to go and talk to someone about issues?
Okay. That's a good question because that's one of the biggest problems I have with black men and so on. What I'm gonna say in the black community over the last, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 years, we as a community have gotten a lot better with using therapy as an option to deal with mental health issues. As far as with black men, um, the the easiest ways that I have gotten black men to want to feel comfortable with going to therapy is to first help them understand that going to therapy is not a sign of weakness. Going to therapy does not necessarily mean that you have a mental health problem. It doesn't mean that you're crazy, because particularly with black men, what they're going to bring up is a lot of societal myths about mental health. And so they're going to say, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. I don't want nobody to do this. I don't want another person telling me I'm weak. I'm sorry. I'm this. These are the complaints that a lot of, I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually when I have a lot of black men that a black man that actually comes to therapy, or they usually try to consult with me and ask me a bunch of questions prior to them actually seeking a therapy themselves. So what I've shown over the years is that I have to be more patient, and I understand the anxiety levels that black men have with seeking therapy. So because for black women are more likely to just, hey, they understand they're overwhelmed, they need it. There's no real big issue. But for black men, there's this machismo, this level of thinking, because I'm a man, I'm just supposed to take it. I'm supposed to repress feelings. I'm not supposed to show emotions. If I show those emotions and so forth, that means that it's a sign of weakness. And so I'm very patient in evaluating that person and helping them understand that this is not, I have to restructure those irrational thoughts to help them understand that this is not a sign of weakness. You coming to therapy is actually a sign of strength, and that you're being smart, the fact that you know you have a problem and you need to work on it.
Right.
Okay. And that if you don't work on it, there are going to be negative consequences that will occur in your life. And
Right.
so and I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to be a little bit more patient for as a black man, because usually when most black men do seek therapy, they usually want to see a black man first. But the issue is that there's just not a lot of black men in the field. And so if not a black man, then they'll say, okay, well, I want a black woman or some black person, and then it goes from there. So those are the issues the most. But I'm gonna tell you, the most pushback that black men give is actually for marital therapy. Most black men are actually willing to go to therapy for other personal issues, but the worst scenarios that I've had of black men pushing back and being non-receptive to therapy is marital therapy. Black men of any group is least likely want to discuss his private business or his relationship issues with a therapist. That's the most difficult. Even the gay black couples that I've dealt with, the men have issues with wanting to because I've counseled, LGBT also, and even for the men, there's pushback in regards to that. One of the partners have a huge pushback in regards to receiving therapy. So it goes across the board.
Yeah. So me and my husband went to marriage counseling, but I just looked in a book and saw who was closest, made the appointment. We showed up, right?
Okay.
We go in and we start talking.
Mm-hmm.
I see if this would have been either a black woman or a black man, they would have known how to handle the situation where we probably would have continued the counseling. But
Okay.
because this white man decided to turn to my husband and tell him that he needs to leave me,
He
right?
actually told him that in front of you?
Yes. He was
Oh,
he was like
oh no, that was unethical.
the I was being quite charming. Like I had, by the time I decided that I wanted a divorce, I was fed up. And they say when a
So
woman's fed up,
I got to ask you a question. I'm sorry, but I got to ask you a question. Did he tell your husband this? Because number one, in a therapy session, the therapist never makes the decisions for the clients. The
Mhm.
clients are guided through making a decision for themselves.
right?
So did he tell you this towards the end of the session, or he told you this like in the middle as you all were discussing things?
It was the end because it was almost the end, or absolutely maybe
Oh,
that's when it was ending, right?
of
That's when
of one session? You talking about one session or
one
multiple?
session.
Oh no. Oh no. That was totally out of line. That was actually that
One
was
and I admit I was being rude. And I wasn't being nasty. I never disrespected my husband in that way. But what I was doing was I was like laying everything just out. You know what I mean? With
okay, and you're
no,
supposed to.
yeah. But I kind of get the way I was doing it. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be married anymore. But he want to continue to be married. I had that attitude. I was like, yeah, I don't want to, he wants me to come here, so we coming here. But I really don't want to be married anymore. And my husband was like, yeah, but I want us to stay together. And I guess that attitude, this white man really said, well, you shouldn't be with her. He really said that. And my husband stood up and said, but you don't know her. Like he was like my husband really wanted this to work. He really told him that he shouldn't be with me. But that's what made me stay with my husband. The fact that he stood up in that time against this man who was really attacking me in a sense. A black
Wow.
person, a black person wouldn't have done that. A black man, you would have known how to handle the
Yeah,
situation.
you have to vet certain people and so forth. And for me, I'm gonna say, unfortunately, I've heard this. I'm starting. This is something a little bit disturbing, but I have heard situations when people, like, say for instance, they came to me as a second choice, and they'll tell me that the previous person I've heard horror stories in marriage therapy where they felt like a therapist was inappropriate in what they said, or they were inappropriate in taking the side of one person over the next. And this is something I tried to educate these guys on. They didn't want to listen. You cannot go into a therapeutic situation with a couple and you're taking sides. Your job as a therapist is to be clearly objective. Your job is not to tell anybody what to do. Your job is to utilize therapeutic techniques to help them open up and to help them learn effective ways to resolve their own issues without you. So a therapist should never tell you what to do. A therapist's job is not to tell you to do anything. The therapist's job is to assist you to effectively resolve your own issues. That's the reason why you're there in the first place, because you were unable to resolve whatever particular issues that you were dealing with. So you need a third party person in as a professional to help you work on whatever maladaptive behaviors, communication, whether it's infidelity, marital, money issues, value system issues, and whatever amount of issues that were. There could be issues with family and so forth that are affecting your marriage. A therapist should. There's very few situations that would be appropriate for a therapist to tell you, well, I think you should do that. And I'm gonna be honest, that and regardless, and a situation that requires you to make a life-changing decision, like getting a divorce, a therapist, that was poor practice. To just make it simple, that was poor practice.
Yeah, I was shocked that he said it, and my husband was like, and he was like, well, you can make an appointment for the next session. We never made an appointment. We never went back, and we just said, okay, we're gonna do this ourselves, you know. But yeah, he absolutely told him and the way I could tell, but based on when I was talking, the way he was looking at me, like he was shocked. He was shocked that I would, and I'm like, in my mind, I was thinking, isn't this a marriage therapist? I know he had
Yes,
to hear worse than this shit.
and what he probably did, but the thing about it is, you also have to understand there is something called within the realm of mental health, particularly with marital counseling. there's something called transference and countertransference.
Mhm.
And basically that if this guy had ill feelings about you and the way you presented yourself, it's going to affect how he functions in the therapeutic relationship. And also, if you didn't like things about him, it was going to also affect how you were going to function towards him. So when you have transference and countertransference, those things need to be discussed.
Mhm.
Say, for instance, if you didn't like something about him, it was his job to pick up on that and ask you, hey, is it something about me you're uncomfortable with? Is it something about me that you don't like? Did I say something to tick you off? But he came in that situation from a position of probably being racist and probably being biased because he probably looked at you as an unruly African American woman.
Right.
And,
Or
and and
maybe he having problems with his wife. Maybe she cheated on. I was saying I was being, but I could tell he was
it don't
absolutely
matter.
shocked at
It
what I
don't.
was saying. He was like,
It really don't matter how you act
mhm,
because he's supposed to be prepared for how anybody is supposed to act. I mean, there were situations in marital therapy I had to stop people from fighting. I wasn't prepared for that, but I mean, as a trained person, I know that these are things that could happen.
right.
I've had situations. I had situations where people found out stuff for the first time that they didn't even know, and they was in marriages for over 20, 30 years. And they acted out in violent, very emotional manner. And I had to be prepared. You have to be prepared for that. So as a therapist, you're trained to deal with any spontaneous, unexpected situation. So that was just poor practice on his part, all the way around. Poor
Yeah.
practice.
I
That
think
decision, that decision was supposed to be made between you and him, not him telling your husband what he's supposed to do.
right. And it was so weird. And I talk about, I tell people how that went and what made me decide to, like, when my husband stood up for me that day, that's when I realized, okay, this is the man for me because he really stood up. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
at the same time, that therapist was way out of line. I could tell, but I'm saying things that I should be able to say, but it wasn't nothing that my husband didn't know, so he already knew. But
Mm-hmm.
his therapist was acting like, "Whoa, really? Wow." And he would look at him and say, "Why are you with her? Like, what's like, you know what I mean?" And
Now,
wow,
what would the appropriate questions should have been, you know, um, at the end of the therapy session would have been, I would like you for homework to reevaluate the longevity of your relationship and to identify the reasons why you should stay in this marriage versus the reasons why you shouldn't stay in it. And then upon the next session, we can work out each and every one of those things that are listed. And as a therapeutic in this therapeutic relationship, we identify how important these things are and see if this relationship is salvageable. Not to just tell somebody to make a decision,
right,
but to go through that process of evaluating, okay, if I continue this relationship, these are the things that I like versus I can't put up with this anymore. And then he had his certain circumstances to stay and not to stay. You compare and contrast, and then you come up with compromise, negotiating, and to me, bonding in that process because
mhm,
you may learn some things that you didn't know, and he may learn some things that he didn't know and be aware of. And that's the purpose of the marriage therapy is to in a constructive manner learn and identify certain things that because if you couldn't do that on your own, somebody else is making you aware of that to make it easier for you to learn how to resolve and correct those issues for the long term. That was the purpose. But to just merely tell your husband, that was actually that was asinine. That was unprofessional, totally unprofessional, unethical.
yeah. Well, I guess in long term, it worked. My husband's, yeah. I saw him when he stood up to him like that. I kind of realized, okay,
You knew
this
that he really wanted. You knew he really wanted the marriage.
right. I knew he really wanted it, and I was being selfish, but I was at that point where I was fed up. Like there was a lot of things that happened. I think we were
Mhm.
married. We were married 15 years when all this happened. We was in that
Okay.
15 year, and yeah. So,
Yeah. I mean,
but
I mean, I've had stuff, man. People didn't know certain things. Um, People found out that one of the partners had a child. The husband had a child. You know, imagine you know, as a wife thinking your husband never cheated on you, and you find out he got two side kids from two different women. But the first, I'm just saying, this is stuff that happens. Matter of fact, I never forget the most out of balance situation I dealt with in marital therapy was when I counseled an Hispanic couple, and the guy's wife, I never forget, he was a fireman. His wife told him for the first time that she had sex and ongoing sex with his first cousin. I actually had to call the police because the guy, I had to basically hold him off of her. I had to call because I couldn't, like, look, I'm not, even though I'm, you know, hey, I'm trying to prevent, but it was at a point where he was threatening and physically trying to. I really think if I wasn't there, he probably would try to kill him. He actually, I felt like he, you know, I had to literally we had to call the police to calm him down. And, but imagine you hearing that for the first time and you trying to work, and then somebody say, I'm saying she casually saying it like she didn't have a care in the world, like, oh yeah, I fucked him, yeah, okay.
Oh, damn.
Like, you know, and it was good. Shit, you know, something like that. He was better than you. That's the kind of, and the dude, he lost it.
Yeah.
And but you got to be prepared for those type of things because that can happen. So that was unfortunate, but unfortunately, you know, you have not all therapists and not all services are equal, and unfortunately, some people will run against into people that are not necessarily as competent as they should be in therapy.
Right. Because you never know, like the therapist himself might be going through something with his wife, or, you know.
Yeah, that does happen. And I'm glad you brought that up because, I mean, there are times for me, certain types of counseling situations I don't like dealing with. Like, say if I'm going through a loss, like somebody that was close to me that passed away and died, and I'm having problems grieving, I don't deal with bereavement issues at that time because I know right now this is an issue that I'm having difficulty with. And see, the issue with that is that we are trained supposed to identify and know that, and have discernment and understanding that you should not be counseling people on issues that you personally may have troubles being objective with.
Right.
And that's just something you should know, because I know for a fact if there's certain issues, there are times whatever, if I'm going through something or personally or whatever, I don't want to deal with I'll decline and refer that client out if it's a certain issue or a certain type of mental health issue that I feel that I'm not going to give you the optimal level of care. I prefer referring you out and losing that money as opposed to me doing something to mess you up.
Right.
You know, so that's how you're supposed to function in that particular scenario.
Right. So right now in our chat we have a lot of educated women and some men as well, and I know we have some nurses, some other therapists, some doctors. We got, you know, over here we be having a little bit of everything. And
cool.
So I just want you to know you are very welcome over here to chat and
I watch you from the clouds all the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't come in, but I do watch you. I've been watching you on and off, and so on. But I watch you at least once or twice a week. I'll hear of you and so forth, and so on, and certain things like that. And so I'll actually listen to you. I've listened to you a lot, you know, and different things. I actually remember when you first actually came on to YouTube, when you were like doing a lot of the house cleaning stuff and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Right.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched you a lot. I've kind of watched a little bit of everybody to see where they're coming from and see their perspectives. But for me and my content, like for me, even though most of my subscribers are men, most of the people that actually participate and contribute are usually women. Particularly in the last 3 to 6 months, I've actually had a huge rise in women that actually have subscribed to me and so forth. And so
I like what your channel is before. What's your channel?
It's just called D Durrell. D space DERELL. You can just type in D Durrell and you'll find all my information and so forth. You'll see my I talk about mental health. I talk about a lot of the crazy issues with SYSBM, MGTOW, red pill IDL. I challenge a lot of that stuff. I challenge a lot of that. I do some pro-black stuff also, and so on. Or I may do some anything within the black community. I kind of touch upon it and try to come from a psychological perspective on it and so on. But for the most part, there are a lot of people within the manosphere and certain sex, they really don't care for me. I'm usually a triggering factor when I come into the platform. So I go where I'm wanted and so forth. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna speak the truth whether you don't like it or not. The truth is the truth. And when I hear people say a lot of the biggest thing I don't like in this particular space is that there are a lot of people giving a lot of false information about Black women and stereotypical information that is not true in regards to how Black women function in relationships. There's not a lot of male accountability. There needs to be more Black male accountability that's not there. And it's just, and when you have people saying a lot of information and saying a lot of stereotypical stuff that's not true, and it's not to be true, particularly in the form of relationships, which, I mean, I've probably saved at least 150 or more to 200 marriages in the last 15 years. So I think if I've saved that many marriages, I've saved at least 85% of the marriages that I've counseled. And even people who are just in relationships, I think I would know what I'm talking about if I've done this. I do this for a living. You know what I'm saying? Right. But people just feel, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, D. Durrell. You need to think like us. And the Black woman hurt the community. She chose feminism over us. And this, I'm okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it doesn't make sense. Even like it's almost like they heard somebody said that person and they felt like that must be right, and then they just been running with it ever since. I try my best to I'm not here to beat up on men nor women. You know what I mean? I try, I hope that's what it shows. You know what I mean? I love my brothers and my sisters, and Black love is something I like showing off because I know that we have it in our communities. But these men will claim that they don't see it. And then they start talking to stats. Well, they're not married. Well, of course they're not married. They're not married for many reasons. But we do have
again, that's another. I had to debate that. See, they throw the same. They look at and I tried to tell these guys, quit looking at blackstatistics.com. That is not a reputable. That company only been around for 7 years, and that information on that website is not updated. When they talk about, well, why if Black women got to be the issue, why only 20%, 26% of them are married? Well, the reason why less than 30% of them are married is because a lot of them had to deal with bullshit. A lot of them had to deal with the fact that some of them maybe don't want to be married, and some of them are living in long-term life partner relationships, and they just haven't gotten married. Which in our community, there's a lot of people that are cohabitating together that are not married. They're in functional relationships, and they just not married. And see, but that study doesn't account for that. And I'm like, you have to, whenever you look at research, you have to account for the limitations and the errors. You can't be quoting shit and not look at it from full circle. All they see is a statistic and they run with it. But that's just me.
Yeah. They learned how to really not read stats. They just know how they listen to what other people say, and they may go over and look at numbers, but they have to read. It's important.
Yes, you have to read. And I've sat there and told them, I actually gave them the list of different. I said, look, if you want to do some real research, Google is a good tool. But if you want to start quoting real research, you're going to have to go to a college library and look up the psychological and sociological journals. If you have X, or if you don't want to do that, at least go to certain research organizations that have been around for at least 40 or 50 or more years, and you get your research and your materials from them. quit using these. You look up some little article on YouTube and you quoting out a statistic from a newspaper and so forth. You know, like I had one guy trying to quote research from the New York Times, which is a newspaper. There's no way in hell you're going to tell me that a newspaper that quoted an article is more reputable than the Journal of Clinical Psychology that focuses on a variety of different psychological issues, and this is what they specialize in.
Right.
But you argue me down over the newspaper article.
It
Okay.
don't make sense. That newspaper just report. When you talk
Yes.
about these organizations, they are absolutely coming up with the data. They are doing the studies. They are the ones, but they don't understand that.
No, the research said that the Black woman, she filed for divorce 80% of the times. Okay, so have you ever considered the various reasons? Maybe she filed 80% of the times because the relationship, the marriage was leaning on 5 years too late, and the male failed to file with her or file first. That's things that could have drove her to not to have to file first. Maybe the guy lied and claimed he was going to file and never was going to. If he didn't file, she was waiting on him to file and he never did. So she chose to go with the process.
Exactly.
You know?
Who had the money first? That's the person.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's contributing factors to that. Yes. I mean, do I admit, will I say that in many situations, there are situations that I think Black women do file for divorce too early? I do agree. That is an aspect of that. But in that being part of the problem, you cannot ignore the other issues. You have to look at everything in its totality and contribute to, hey, this is what we need to work through as a community. We need to work on the fact of we need to try to resolve these problems. We need to work on the fact of, Black men with infidelity or women with infidelity, financial issues, and so on. We need to work on everything as being equally as important.
I agree with you.
So,
yeah. So I just want to say thank you for coming up. Whenever you want, me to come over there on your channel, panel, whatever you're doing.
Sure.
No, we get a group of women to come over there and abuse you a little bit. You'll like it.
Hey, we do something. What I've dedicated on Saturdays, I dedicate Saturdays to our women's panel for the most part. The last two, yesterday it kind of went left with an internet relationship issue, but I've dedicated Saturdays. I do mostly an all women's panel on Saturday afternoon around 6-7 o'clock. I usually do an all women. I have mostly all women come on the panel, and I talk about a women's issue on Saturdays.
Okay, so that sounds like, so next Saturday, is it early, midday? When is it usually?
Like my next one that I'm going to do is on the, let's see, the 19th. And the topic is going to be Black women get so mad at Black men over what? And that question mark, you fill in the blanks. The reasons why you get mad with Black men. So this is going to be a venting. Huh?
Yeah, I was telling the ladies, y'all hear that, right? We're going to go over there, flood him up next Saturday.
Yeah, so it's a point where you can vent out, hey, this is what Black men do that make me upset. So that we're going to talk about that, and that's going to be scheduled at 7:25 p.m. next Saturday.
Okay, y'all make sure y'all go over to Darrell's channel, subscribe, and hit the notification, especially for the show next Saturday. So we can go over there, flood him up, show him some love and some support. We might not have brothers who do, and we do have some brothers in this area who will support you as well, right? Because they like the real information. We have a lot of brothers who looking for real information, and they may stumble across some idiots and think that they're giving information, but eventually they will realize, okay, look, I'm in an area where this is nonsense, and then they'll
it is.
Yeah, they'll end up falling in your area, and then they'll know they should be where they are.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually glad you actually are doing the content, because I've had with the person in your in your in the title. I've had issues with her. Matter of fact, I just had an issue with her 2 days ago where I was being sarcastic because I was basically ragging on Black British women since you want to have issues with Black American women. And she made the comment of, well, if British women are like this, then African American women are the lowest of the low, and with her, a little sarcastic British accent and so forth. So that's how she think of Black women. She
Right.
thinks very low of Black American women.
And we have other Black women and some of these Black men taking up for her. Like you mad
Yes.
at me, a Black woman who support Black women, that I'm supporting you against a woman who is degrading us? Are you serious?
Yes, she has degraded multiple women on my platform. For matter of fact, she has degraded at least 3. All right, I'm not gonna say the names, but she's degraded at least 3 of them for the most part. And one of them was in regards to colorism, was dealing with skin tone, saying that she was 200 times lighter than her, so that meant she was prettier.
Oh, okay. Now see,
She said that verbatim.
I want y'all to know that she really did say that. She admitted to saying it, in fact. And
Yeah, she did.
yeah, so I just want y'all, the ladies, I know that we have some women saying, Bomb, why are you talking about her? I'm really not even talking about her. I'm talking about the men. Be very clear. I'm using her name, but I'm talking about the men who support her. Okay, I'm not here to beat up on her. She should be beating up on herself because she knows she wants to be Black. She just don't want our skin color. She want everything else that we have, though. She want our men. She want our culture. You know what I mean? She want them thick lips, baby, and that big ass and them titties. She ain't got none of that, okay? And then she wants to turn around and say, you want my skin color. We don't. Listen, keep it. Keep it, British woman. Keep it. Okay?
She can keep. I mean, they got. I'm from Louisiana. We got plenty of high yellow women in Louisiana.
Oh, I know we were from the same place, baby. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm from Valls Parish, which is like in between Lafayette and Alexandria.
Oh, okay. So you are from farther north.
Yeah, it's like in the central. It's like maybe an hour from Baton Rouge, and it's like in the middle. It's like like I'm like an hour from Baton Rouge, an hour from. I'm actually closer to like Lafayette and Alexandria.
Oh, okay.
In between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you know where we from. We come from dark to light as of the light.
Yeah, exactly. That's nothing. That ain't. I mean, I've seen plenty of that. I mean, I'm one. Fantastic Simpson couldn't contain it. Was in South Louisiana.
I know that's right.
You couldn't contain it because you'll look around. That's all you'll see in certain spaces.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. That British woman thinks she's something special, but she ain't shit. Especially where I'm from, like I said.
Yeah, Louisiana. She wouldn't even be. You wouldn't even stand out. They got people lighter than her.
Right, I'm lighter than her.
Way lighter than her. I mean,
I'm lighter than her. So
yeah, you are. Yeah, you're actually lighter than her. I mean, I'm like that. I'm just perplexed about it. I just can't believe that these guys. But like I told somebody, I'm actually in a way. It actually shows how these guys really are. This actually exposed who they really are. With her, when a woman came into their space, it actually showed who they really are as far as what they claim they really are versus them putting it into practice. And it just exposed them.
Yes.
So
anyway, everybody.
All right, Bon.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'll see you again.
All right, then you take care.
And everybody else, I'm out. Y'all make sure y'all check out D-Rail. Okay, make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Everybody, I gotta go. Okay, hubby just came in the room, and I am. Is that Doctor? Hello. Somebody else is in the room. I saw them come in, but I didn't. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Hey.
Girl, you been up here all that time?
I was in the gym. I'm sorry if you hear that background noise. I was in the gym, but I was listening. I'm sorry. It took me like a whole damn week to figure out how to get on damn Zoom.
I didn't even know you. I saw somebody come in. They didn't tell me what their name was. And
yes.
Then I couldn't see you no more. That's because you was hiding behind his.
Okay. Yeah, I had it on mute the whole time, girl. No, I was just listening and doing my little workout. And
you
I
still,
hate this music in the background. My bad.
are you still working out?
Yes, I am,
Okay,
girl.
so tomorrow I'm gonna come back on, and you go if you
Okay.
got time, you come back up so you could tell me what you wanted to add.
Okay, I'm gonna come back up. I think just I wanted to just be up here to see how to get on Zoom, first of all. I think that's what my whole purpose was, but I got you now, boy.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I miss you, right? I miss you
I
coming.
miss you too, girl. I told you I've been trying to come on, but my dumb ass couldn't figure out how the hell to get on.
I made some changes to the settings today. That's why it probably was easy.
Okay.
So
Yes, and then I'm just computer illiterate anyway, so you're gonna have to give me some lessons, honey.
anyway, I am signing off. So, but
Okay, boo.
you doing good. Keep working out, girl. I know I want to talk to you
Honey.
about some things I know
Okay.
that was shared tonight that I know you know a lot of about also.
Okay, boo, but we'll reconvene tomorrow, baby. Okay.
Okay, talk to you
Enjoy
later.
Mr. Bomb Cherry. Okay, bye, girl.
Bye, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow sometime. That's if nobody else go live. I think. Oh, I've been waiting to see if Cluster gonna go live, y'all, because I don't want to be the only one going live or whoever going live. So if she's live tomorrow, then I won't go live. But as soon when I see that she's not live, then I'll go live. Okay. I'm not trying to yeah. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.